Good evening and welcome to the 2021 10 and Under Keystone Classic. We are still finishing up some warm-ups and we will be getting started very shortly. We are broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. Make sure to tell your friends and give us a like or subscribe for all the action here in sunny Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Okay, thank you for clearing the pool. Just a couple reminders. All swimmers should be wearing a mask at all times unless they're in the water. We want to try to maintain the best social distancing we can so that if we can touch the person beside you, you're too close. And again, no running on the pool deck at any time. No running on the pool deck at any time. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Keystone 10 and Under Keystone Classic. If we could all please rise and remove our hats for the playing of the national anthem.
And with the playing of the national anthem, we will be beginning very shortly with event number 1, girls 9
Good afternoon.
and 10.
The first event today is going to be girls 9-10, 100-yard freestyle. We'll have 8 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
And for heat number 1, in lane 3, we have Hoover, lane 4, Macabre, and in lane 5, Knight. All these swimmers are coming in with no seed times. Let's see how they do. Now, the in-pool announcer did say this is a freestyle, but it's actually an IM, so we're starting off with our butterfly leg here. Looks like lane number 4, that's Macabre, is in the lead, transitioning well into her backstroke. Lane number 5 looks to be coming up a close second here. About halfway across the pool. Lane 4 is transitioning now into her breaststroke. Looks like an under 45-second split here for Macabre. Macabre still far ahead of the other 2 contenders. They're about neck and neck now in the breaststroke leg. She's going to finish first here, easily hitting the wall at 124.92. That's Caroline Macabre. Looks like a tough race here for the 3rd and 5th lane. Knight, which is closer to you on the camera, seems to be that she's going to hit the wall second here. And she does it in 1:51.38, followed by Hoover. Looks like a soft up. There we go, 1 minute 57.11. Congratulations, ladies. Going to be moving on to heat number 2 of event number 1, girls 9 and 10, 100-yard IM. In lane 1, Patterson. Lane 2, Holb. Lane 3, Lynn. Lane 4, Weinberg.
Girls 9-10, 100-yard IM, heat number 2 of 8. Mr. Referee.
Lane 5 will be Crane. Lane 6, Davis. Lane 7, Urbanska. And lane 8, Schultz. Okay, and we're getting started here. Lane 2 and 3 are in the lead here, and that is Holba and Lynn transitioning very quickly into the backstroke. Most of these girls do not come in with any seed times, and so it's anybody's race. Although lane 3 does appear to be far ahead, unless I am not seeing lane 8 here. Looks like an under 45-second split here for both lanes 2 and 3. That is to watch is Holb and Lynn. Lynn holding that first place lead at this point with her breaststroke coming in to the final freestyle leg.
During this, he'd like to make a special shout out to Reed Kermikoff on his birthday today. Reed Kermikoff, make sure you say hi to Reed today. Reed is 8 today. He has a sign, in case you don't know who Reed is, that says, "Hi, it's my birthday." Again, Reed Kermikoff, birthday today at 8.
All right, looks like lane 3, Lynn, is going to finish this race here first with a time of 1:31.56. Followed shortly by Holb with 1 minute 36.07. Looks like these girls are putting up some great times here at the Keystone Aquatic Center. And be sure to wish Reed a happy birthday. Excellent race, girls. Coming up next is heat number 3 of the girls 9 and 10, 100-yard IM.
Event number 1, girls 9-10, 100-yard IM, heat number 3 of 8. Mr. Referee.
All right, the girls are stepping up to the block, and I'll announce those names once they're in the water. And they're in the waters. Starting off in lane number 1, Moore. Lane 2, Galbraith. Lane 3, Heyerholzer. Lane 4, King. Lane 5, Solomon. Lane 6, Pinnell. Lane 7, Bradley. And in lane 8, Geschwansner. Looks like it's a tight race here between lanes 3 and 5. It looks like Holzer and Solomon. They're taking the lead here on the pack, although it does look like lane 7 is coming up strong here in the backstroke leg. We'll take a look at their split times here in just a moment. All right, lane 3 coming in, followed by lane 7 with a time of 43.39. Lane 7, 44.17. They do seem to be our front runners right now, which is Holzer and Bradley. Looks like lane 3 is keeping that edge on Bradley right now by about one body length as she transitions into the final freestyle stroke. And it's an all-out sprint for those two ladies. Looks like lane 6, Pinnell might bring up that final. And lane 3 wins 1 minute 34.47. That's Holzer. Lane 7 coming up second with 1 minute 44.17. And a very close cluster there in the center of the pool, 1 minute 45.84 to 1 minute 45.45 for King and Solomon.
Event number 1, girls 9-10, 100 IM. Heat number 4 of 8, Mr. Referee.
Next up is heat number 4 of the girls 9 and 10, 100-yard IM. And they're in the water. Lane number 1, Rigner. Lane 2, Wozniak. Lane 3, Roberts. Lane 4, Hofheinz. Lane 5, Tinsman. Lane 6, Helt. Lane 7, Uzi. And in lane 8, Katutz. Looks like it's a strong race here between lanes 3 and 4 as they come in. Lane 1, close behind. Lanes 3 and 4, that is Roberts and Hofheinz. Only about one head length apart as they come into their backstroke. Looks like lane 3 hit that wall first with a split time of 42.07, followed closely by lanes 4 and 5 with 43.64 and 43.89 respectively. That would be Hofheinz and Tinsman vying for second and third place. Although right now it looks like in the breaststroke that lane 4 is pulling ahead by almost one head length as the girls transition into the final freestyle leg. And it looks like lane 4 is in the lead here. Hofheinz barely edging out lane 3 here as they come into the finish. Although one lane I cannot get a look on is lane 7 might be the dark horse coming up from behind. Let's take a look at their times when they hit that wall. Looks like lane 7 clinched it. That is Uzi coming out of almost nowhere, 1 minute 31.14, followed by lane number 3, Roberts, coming in at 132.4, and 133.53 coming in for Hofheinz. Great race, ladies.
Event number 1, girls 9-10, 100-yard IM, heat number 5 of 8, Mr. Referee.
Great starts all around. For heat number 5 in lane 1, we have Carroll. Lane 2, Hummel. Lane 3, Kuzik. Lane 4, Walborn. Lane 5, Makovic. Lane 6, Lenovich. Lane 7, Svets. And in lane 8, Hawk. Right now, lanes 1 and 2 in the lead, followed closely by lane 4. That would be Carroll and Hummel in lanes 1 and 2, making that transition to the backstroke very seamless. It's difficult to tell which of those ladies is going to get to the end of this leg first, although lane 4, Walborn, seems to be making up some ground as they come into the breaststroke leg. looks to me like lane 1 is currently in the lead. Actually, looks like lane 4 is in the lead. That is Walborn. Made up some ground here on that backstroke leg. Walborn now taking the lead by almost, looks to me, a half a body length, if not more, as she comes into the final turn for that freestyle sprint to the end. And it's Walborn in the lead. Let's take a look. Now that we have some seed times for these racers, we're going to take a look to see how well they're performing against their previous times as well. And it looks like Walborn is going to do very well for herself here. Her seed time, 132.98, and she pulled a 124.1. Very impressive time for that lady. And in lane 2, Hummel came in with a seed 136.83. Dropping nearly 10 seconds off of her time. That was in lane 2, and 131, taking about 6 seconds off of her time. That is wonderful gains here for these ladies tonight.
Event number 1, girls 910 100-yard IM, heat number 6 of 8, Mr. Referee.
Great starts, ladies. In lane 1, Johnson. Lane 2, Tewksbury. Lane 3, Mapufu. Lane 4, Jones. Lane 5, Fouts. Lane 6, Laforme. Lane 7, DeTulio. And lane 8, Johnson. Looks like Mapufu is in the lead here at the first turn. Great streamline from her coming into the backstroke. Looks like lane 6 is also competing very well, and that's going to be Laforme. All these ladies hovering a little bit higher than the 1 minute and 30 second mark, so we're going to see how they do tonight and see if this pool is going to bring those scores, those times down, those scores up. Looks to me like Mapufu has rounded that bend very quickly, although lane 2 is giving her a run for her money at Tewksbury. Hard to tell here, but lane 6 is definitely also in the pack. Followed by lane 1, or approximately in the same position as lane 1. That's Johnson and Laforme. Coming into their final freestyle stretch, it's Mapufu in the lead. Followed closely by, looks like lane 8 is coming strong as well. But it's going to be Mapufu coming in here. Let's take a look at her time. She had a seat time about 1 minute 31 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 minute 30.8. She's going to pull a Tewksbury coming in at 127. I'm sorry, Mapufu coming in at 128.24. That's a PR for her. Looks like second place was lane 2, coming in at 127.86 for Tewksbury. At 129 for that lane 6. Just shy of, well, actually lane 8 came in as third, it looks like, on the board, with a time of 129.31.
Event number 1, girls
Johnson.
910 100-yard IM, heat number 7 of 8, Mr. Referee.
As you can see, our on-deck announcer is making sure we're moving along here. Great race, ladies. Everybody, I think, in that race looks to have improved on their times. All right. Heat number 7 is in the water. Lane number 1, Hawthorne. Lane 2, Bratton. Lane 3, Garnsey. Lane 4, O'Connor. Lane 5, Short. Lane 6, Kiefer. Lane 7, Bender. And lane 8, Sonlin. Looks to me that lane 3 has turned that corner the fastest into that backstroke leg. That's Garnsey in the lead. Her seat time is 125. All these swimmers, especially in the center of the pool, pulling high 125s. We'll see how they do tonight. At the split, it's actually lane 5 coming in first, and that's going to be Short, followed closely by lane 3, Garnsey. Breaststroke being one of the more technical strokes. We'll see how they do here. Make sure that short can maintain that lead. Looks like lane 3 has pulled ahead. That's Garnsey as she transitions into her freestyle. It's an all-out sprint now, folks. And it looks like lane 5 is going to be coming in second, which is short. And let's take a look at their times as they complete this race tonight. 120 for Garnsey, 120.27, 123.38 for short. And it looks like 124 will be third place in lane 4 with O'Connor. That's a personal best for all those girls, it looks like, by multiple seconds. Great race, girls.
Event number 1, girls 9-10, 100 yard IM. Final heat, heat number 8 of 8. Mr. Referee.
And for our final heat, the ladies are stepping on the blocks. And we do have a false start on that one, folks. These being some of the fastest swimmers here. It looks like our best time. And the girl to watch tonight, Boyle, lane 4, with a time of 1 minute, 11.62 seconds. Beating out the other two contenders by more than 2 seconds. So we're expecting great things. So watch lane number 4. Let's see if anybody can catch her tonight. So far, no dice. Half a body length away, lane number 5, Berman, who wants to win this race just as badly. And now maintaining, if not gaining on Boyle, is that Berman. Less than a body length as they come to the end of this backstroke leg. Great turn for Boyle and Berman. Streamline for days. Looks like Boyle is in the lead after that turn. Definitely showing that technique is pulling off. And the breaststroke turnover for Boyle is very quick. It's going to be hard to beat her, but Berman is maintaining that second place lead. Boyle into her freestyle sprint, not letting any ground for Berman to catch up. But both girls giving it their all here at the Keystone Aquatic Center. It's going to be Boyle coming in lead with 1 minute, 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds. A personal best for her by more than 2 seconds. 1 minute, 12.91 for Berman. Also a personal best for her by about 1 second. And the other girls coming in at 1:15, 1:16, 1:18, 1:19. Phew. Great job, girls. I think those are PRs pretty much all around tonight. So when the competition is tough, these girls can turn it on and make for some impressive times.
All right, that takes us to event number 2, boys 9-10, 100 yard IM. There'll be 6 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
And here we go for the very first heat of 6. Boys 9 and 10, 100 yard IM. We have no seat times on these boys, but that doesn't mean that they're going to go slow at all. Looks like lane 4 in the lead. That's Clarkson. Lane 3, Bruzik, is in a very close second and third race with 4, which is Toth. But it looks like it's going to be Clarkson that's keeping this lead here as the boys are in the backstroke leg. Looks like some impressive technique on there, and Clarkson transitioning into that breaststroke. He wants to maintain that lead. His lead is now looks as if it is increasing on both Bruzik and Toth as he approaches the wall for the final freestyle stretch of this first heat of the boys 9 and 10 100-yard IM. And it's Clarkson getting to that freestyle first, followed by Toth, who has made some significant ground here on that breaststroke leg. Third place looks like lane 3, Bruzik. But it's going to be Clarkson hitting the wall first at 1 minute 27.51. And that is an impressive time to put down in the books for that gentleman. Second place, we're looking at Toth. Looks like it might be a soft touch on that. At 1 minute 44.64 for Bruzik. Great job, boys. Next up, heat number 2 of the boys 9 and 10 100-yard IM.
Event number 2, boys 9-10, 100-yard IM. Heat number 2 of 6, Mr. Referee.
All right, great start for those boys. As they hit the water in lane 2, we have Talazlia, lane 3, King, lane 4, Drake, lane 5, Heilman, lane 6, Hood, and in lane 7, Timma. It looks like Timma is going to come to that wall first. In lane 7, definitely Timma by almost 2 body lengths ahead of the nearest competition. Looks like that's lane 2, which will be Talazlia. I'm sorry, I'm probably not mispronouncing that, as I usually do. Talasila, how about that? But lane 7 looks like the boy to catch here tonight as he transitions into that breaststroke leg. Great transition for him. Talasila just hit the wall. Also transitioning that breaststroke is the test for these boys. But looks like Timma is going to maintain his lead tonight as he's going to hit that wall by about 10 feet in front of his nearest competitor. Transitioning that freestyle leg easily under 1 minute 10. I think there's going to be an impressive time for him. He came in with no time. Looks like it's going to be followed by Talasila. And in lane 6, Howda is going to be coming up. It looks, it's going to be a tough race here between him and lane 4, Drake. And as they finish, it is lane 7. That's going to be Timma, 1:28.96. Followed by Talasila, 1 minute 37.34. And lastly, looks like Drake pulled off a very close third place finish with 1 minute 39.73. Great time for Drake. He dropped more than 10. Hold on a second. More than 10 seconds off of his time. That's a PR for him tonight. Congratulations to all the boys for those times. Next up is heat number 3 of the boys 9 and 10 100-yard IM.
Event number 2, boys 9-10 100-yard IM. Heat number 3 of 6, Mr. Referee.
Now I have to confess, my boy is in lane 3, so I'm going to be watching him closely. Let's see how they do. And they're in the water. Kickline did have a good start there. So in Heat 3, we have lane number 1, Connolly. Lane 2, Pagano. Lane 3, Kickline. Lane 4, Laskowski. Lane 7, Solomon. Lane 6, Butte. Lane 7, Madden. And lane 8, Johnson. Looks like lane 3 is in the lead slightly. Lane 8 knocking on his door. Lane 4 also making ground here in the backstroke. It's almost neck and neck. Kickline leads by maybe a head length between those two competitors. Let's see when they hit the wall what it looks like. Lane 3 is first, 39.64.
Again, reminder, swimmers, we want to be wearing our masks at all time, please.
Still in the lead.
First entry when we enter into
transitioning into the breaststroke.
lanes.
Breaststroke being the tricky leg. Let's see how he does. Does look like a long pencil he's holding there, but I do know that the breaststroke is tricky for Kickline, but it does look like lane 5 has caught up with him in that breaststroke, and lane 8 is ahead of Kickline as they enter that freestyle sprint. And it looks like lane 5 is in the lead here. That is Solomon coming in first. Kickline trailing off there at that freestyle sprint. It is going to be Solomon, 127.12, followed by 129 in that lane 8. Johnson. Looks like, very close here for that third place finish. It does look like Kickline eked out a third place with 130.38. Followed very closely by Laskowski, 130.39. That's one 1/100th of a second apart in that category, if I'm reading that board correctly. So congratulations, boys. That is a PR for all those boys.
Event number 2,
So very
boys
good
910,
times.
100-yard IM. Heat number 4 of 6, Mr. Referee.
All right, the boys are in the water. Lane 1, Coons. Lane 2, Cummings. Lane 3, Newman. Lane 4, Papanakalo. We'll just call him Maximus. Lane 5, Wolf. Lane 6, Davies. Lane 7, Garvoy. Lane 8, Oregon. And it looks like that lane 5, if I can see this correctly, is pulling the lead now in the backstroke. Followed closely by lane 8. Lane 5 being Wolf. Lane 8, Oregon. Let's take a look as they come to the wall. Does look like lane 5 is going to maintain that lead with 136.75. Followed closely, actually, by lane 4, which is Maximus. That breaststroke, the separation of these boys. Looks like lane 5 is pulling ahead. That is Wolf, Jack Wolf, coming into his final leg here very shortly, as he makes the turn into that freestyle leg easily. And he is chewing up the water here tonight, trying to get in with plenty of space. His seat time, 127.09. Looks like he's going to beat that handily with 119.36. Followed in second place by lane 4, Maximus, with a time of 124.52, and a very third place finish for Oregon with 1 minute 25.36, and a fourth place very close to that time as well with 125.74. That's in lane 2, Cummings. Looks like all these boys pulling very great times here.
Event number 2, boys 910, 100-yard IM. Heat number 5 of 6, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 5 is at the blocks. And we'll announce those lanes once they're in the water. And they're in the water. Great starts, boys. Lane 1, Moore. Lane 2, Meyer. Lane 3, Hassan. Lane 4, Kamakov. Lane 5, Kurtzman. Lane 6, Gaudion. Lane 7, Turk Geller. Lane 8, Mugaj. Right now, from my view, lane 8 and lane 4 are in the front runner's position. Lane 5 coming up strong. Lane 5 is Kurtzman. Looks like, let's take a look and see where we're at the split. Actually, lane 1 and lane 8 pulling ahead, 34.25, 34.51. That's Moore, Mikaj are in the first front runner position. Looks like lane 1 pulling ahead in that breaststroke. Already coming into the red of the lane lines. Looks like lane 1 is the front runner. Looks like we got a race for second and third in the middle of the pool with 4 and 5. Lane 5 pulling ahead. That's Kurtzman. Might even give the first lane Moore a run for the finish here. It's a nail biter, folks, and here we go. Wow, race to the finish, and we have a tie. 117.8 for lanes 1 and lane 5. That's Moore and Kurtzman. That doesn't happen too often around here. And first place, 117.52. That's lane 4, Kermakov. Great race, boys. Excellent times.
Event number 2, boys 9-10, 100-yard IM, heat number 6 of 6, Mr. Referee.
Looks like PRs all around. No, not quite, but many PRs in that race, especially for those front runners. A great race, boys. And we do have a false start here. The officials on the pool deck today are making sure that these starts are proper.
It's Caroline's first meet ever in her whole life. First meet ever. We're so proud of her.
And they're in the water. Great starts. This is the final heat of the boys 9 and 10 IM. Lane 1, Baumgartner. Lane 2, Gitman. Lane 3, Edwards. Lane 4, Dashko. Lane 5, Chernik. Lane 6, Korkaran. Lane 7, Filomenov. And in lane 8, Bueller. Here they come. It is going to be a close one, folks, but that lane 7 looks to be very strong. Filomakov is coming in as well as lane 4, Dashko. And as they hit the wall, it's Dashko coming in first, 30.8 to Filomakov, 32.48 as they make the turn into that breaststroke. Lane 4, Dashko maintaining a lead here with that breaststroke. High turnover rate as he reaches the wall first and transitions into that free. It's going to be lane 7 knocking on his door, Filomakov. Both those boys coming from the B First Swim Club. And it's a race to the finish, although I'm going to say my bet's on lane 7. Yes, that's right, 1 minute 0.15 seconds from Filomakov, followed by a very, very close finish, lane 4, 1:11:21. And all the lane 3 at 1 minute 11.63. And those are excellent times for all those boys. PRs almost all around the board for the final heat of the boys 9 and 10 IM. Next up, girls 8 and under, 25-yard freestyle.
Okay, we'll be going to the other end of the pool today for our starters. If I could have Kim, can I give you just a test that for me, please? Kim Ginter, can you give me a quick test on that? Can you tell Andy that?
And as we go to the 25-yard freestyle section of our event, of our meet, we're going to be moving the blocks down to the other end of the pool. So these girls are going to be starting on our bulkhead. So bear with us as we give it a quick test as we move this timing system around. Some of our swimmers are ready to go.
Event number 3, girls 8 and under 25-yard freestyle. We'll have 6 heats of the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 1, girls 8 and under 25-yard freestyle. And they're in the water, folks. Lane 2, Howell. Lane 3, Vickner. Lane 4, Sarns. Lane 5, Naylor. Lane 6, Newell. None of these girls are coming in with any seed times. In fact, I just heard on the deck that some of these girls, this is their very first meet. And it's going to be easily, looks like lane 3 with a time of 16.04 for 8 and under. That is an excellent time coming from Lily Vickner of Keystone Aquatics, followed closely by lane number 2. That's Eleanor Howell with a time of 30.87. I'm sure these ladies are very pleased with their
girls
times.
8 and under 25 freestyle. Heat number 2 of 6, Mr. Referee.
16 seconds looks to be the time to beat here as we move on to heat number 2 of the girls 8 and under 25-yard freestyle. This may seem like forever for these girls as they wait up on those blocks. Some off the water more than they are high. But we're going to see some great starts here tonight, making sure that we have everything in order before we get started. Looks like we're checking on that timing system just to make sure that we capture all this competitiveness at the Keystone Aquatic Center. Just want to thank you all for joining us remotely tonight on YouTube and Facebook. We know it's tough to not be here for your children when they are swimming and that you have to watch on a TV, but we are trying to do our best to stay safe so we can keep swimming. And they're off. Lane 1, Nugent. Lane 2, Fritz. Lane 3, Geschwantner. Lane 4, Capuni. Lane 5, Shetland. Lane 6, Kramer. Lane 7, Kramer. Lane 8, Welker. And we have a lot of people on deck here, so I can't tell you exactly who's going to win this race. So I'm just going to watch the board here, coming up on the 24-second mark, 25. And it's going to be 26 seconds, looks like, for lane 5. That's a Kramer. Her seat time, 37.11. followed closely by lane 1 with 28.63. Her seat time, that's going to be Nugent. Her seat
Event
time
number
is
3,
38.
girls 8 and under, 25-yard freestyle. Heat number 3 of 6, Mr. Referee.
So we're talking dropping more than 10 seconds of time in that race tonight. And heat number 3. You do have a false start here. Again, this might be the first
Please have
heat.
quiet for the start, please. Please do not cheer and yell until they actually have started the swim. Please quiet during the start.
As you heard from our on-deck announcer, we have a lot of energy here in the room tonight, which is causing some false starts for these new swimmers. Again, might be their first meet. There could be some nerves up there on those blocks. And they're excited to get going. And they're off in lane 1. We have Katsoups, lane 2, Darmuni, lane 3, Riley, lane 4, Mukaj, lane 5, Alena, lane 6, Lanovich, lane 7, Kapuni, and lane 8, Canal. And it looks like lane 3 is going to finish first with 20.14 and a close second and third split with lane 4, 21.66 and 21.82. Looks like Geschwantner is going to win that. Maya, great job taking around 13 seconds off of your
Event
time.
number 3,
Excellent
girls
job.
9, 8 and under, 25-yard freestyle. Heat number 4 of 6, Mr. Referee.
And they're in the water. Lane 1, Svets. Lane 2, Silic. Lane 3, Frenkel. Lane 8, Bender. Lane 5, Bagat. Lane 6, Husley. Lane 7, Patterson. And lane 8, Nugent. We have a lot of folks on the deck cheering these girls on as they come up to the end. It's going to be in lane 1 with a time of 21.66. Svets followed closely in lane 6 with Hosley, and in
Event
lane
number 3,
4,
girls 8 and under,
Bender.
25-yard freestyle. Heat number 5 of 6, Mr. Referee.
Gotta tell you, my girls in this race, I'll be watching lane number 3, but I will announce them as soon as they're in the water. Lane 1, Johnson. Lane 2, Jordan. Lane 3, Kickline. Lane 4, Jowd. Lane 5, Wingington. Lane 6, Carter. Lane 7, Tutulio. And lane 8, Killar. Looks like those center lanes are going to hit the wall first. Looks like lane 5 with a time of 16.2. Lane followed closely by lanes 7 and 8, 17.76 and 17.87.
Event number 3, girls 8 and under, 25-yard
Lane 6,
freestyle.
18.02.
Heat number 6
Great
of
job,
6,
girls.
Mr. Referee.
That's PRs for many of those girls tonight. For our final heat, we have in lane 1, Springer. Lane 2, Grazanio. Lane 3, Smith. Lane 4, Jowd. Lane 5, Berman. Lane 6, Keller. Lane 7, Darmoni. And in lane 8, Wozniak. And some of these girls will be done before I get done talking. Looks like lane 4 and 5 will be finishing that first. The board says 16.72 for lane 5. That's going to be Berman bringing in the first place position. Second place is Jowd. Again, great times all around for those ladies. Berman dropping her time.
Event number 4, boys
2
8 and under,
seconds.
25-yard
About 2 seconds,
freestyle.
1.5.
Heat number 1 of 4, Mr. Referee.
Now we're going to move on to the boys 8 and under, 25-yard freestyle. Heat number 1. No seed times for these boys, so it's anybody's race. Lane 2, Bagami. Lane 3, Carver. Lane 4, Januzzo. Wait, let me do that one more time. Januzzo, that's David. 5, Petticord, and lane 6, Cottingham. Junazov, I'm going to say.
Not joking. Can you pour all the waters in there? You'll have to
Be First is a great club, and they're bringing a lot of competition here tonight, so I would watch that David there in lane 4. And we have Keystone represented in lanes 2 and 5, and CV in lane 6, Cumberland Valley. Looks like that lane 4 is the boy to watch, and he's pulling out the lead position, although it does look like lane 6 is going to hit that wall first, and it is. Cottingham from Cumberland Valley finishing that race in 17.95. That's a great time. He should be very proud of that. And Carver coming in. Looks to me on the board at 22.5. Great race, boys.
Event number 4, boys 8 and under 25-yard freestyle. Heat number 2 of 4, Mr. Referee.
Moving right along to heat number 2 of the boys 8 and under 25-yard freestyle. Lane 1, Sox. Lane 2, Roberts. Lane 3, Cleary. Lane 4, Nugent. Lane 5, Rosenfeld. Lane 6, Smith. Lane 7, Pagano. And lane 8, Caldwell. And they are in the water. Nugent, lane 4, having the best seat time, 25.91. And he's having a great race, although it looks like lane 6 is knocking on his door. Smith may hit that wall first in this 25-yard sprint. And it is that lane 6, followed by that lane 5. Lane 6. Waiting for these times to come up here. They might have had a lot of soft touches tonight, so I'm not comfortable giving those times at this point, but it looks like around that 26.
Event number 4, boys 8 and under 25-yard freestyle. Heat number 3 of 4, Mr. Referee.
All right, heat number 3. Lane 1, Herbine. Lane 2, Ritchie. Lane 3, Kamanets. Lane 4, Avoltev. Lane 5, Kermakov. Lane 6, Horku. Lane 7, Laskowski. And lane 8, Zamkov. And those boys are in the water. Looks like lane 4, lane 5 pulling ahead easily here in the beginning. Again, hard to see. We have a lot of folks on the deck. But it's going to be a real close race here between lanes 3 and 4, 17.83 to 17.87. And that's both from B First, Kaponets, Nikas, and Alvet. We're just going to say Nikita. Lane 4 having those first and second.
Event number 4,
positions.
boys 8 and under 25-yard freestyle. Heat number 4 of 4, Mr. Referee.
And the final heat of the boys' 25-yard freestyle, 8 and under. Lane 1, Zamkov. Lane 2, Kurtzman. Lane 3, Bratton. Lane 4, Zetev. Lane 5, Trashko. Lane 6, Ezips. Lane 7.
Quiet for the start, please.
Mazienko.
Quiet
And
for
in
the
lane
start.
8, Madden. Some of these boys still getting to their blocks. Moving quickly here on the deck tonight. We do have a false start. We're going to reset that. And they're in the water. Great start, boys. Let's take a look to see how they're coming. It's an all-out sprint here tonight. Looks like lane 5 and lane 7 are in a tight cluster there. We're going to see times just north of the 16-second mark here with lane 5 pulling 16.24. Very close lane 7, 16.31, and a third place in between there, 16.9. All of them coming from that Be First club. Jan, Matthew, and Maxim, great job. And PRs all around for those boys as well. In fact, I see great times all up and down the heat sheet here for each of these boys. They should be very proud of those PRs tonight. Next up, event number 5, girls 9 and 10, 50-yard freestyle. We're going to take a moment and switch to the other end of the pool to get started.
Event number 5, girls 9-10, 50-yard freestyle. We'll have 9 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
And to start us off, we have in lane 2, Macabre, lane 3, Davis, lane 4, Lynn, lane 5, Morlock, and in lane 6, Hoover. Again, the lower lanes further away from the camera. Looks like lane 2, Macabre, is going to hit that wall first, followed very closely, half a body length, by Lynn. And it's a race to the finish here. Looks like Lynn might be making some ground as they come back across the pool. These two girls, I believe, competed in the IM. And we're also both contenders and competitors. And it looks like it's going to be that lane 2 hitting the wall at 33.75, followed by Lynn, 34.52. And third place, 44.6. It's going to be Morlock. No seat times for them, but those are great times to put up on the board to start us off in the 50-yard freestyle girls 9 and 10 segment. Next up, heat number 2.
Event number 5, girls 9-10, 50-yard freestyle. Heat number 2 of 9, Mr. Referee.
And they're in the water. Looks like lane 1 is a scratch. Lane 2, Wazinski. Lane 3, Waynesburg. Lane 4, Sakura. Lane 5, Rollins. Lane 6, Roeder. Lane 7, Crane. And lane 8, Howell. And as they approach the wall, it does look like it's going to be that lane 5 hitting there first by half a body length. Lane 7 just barely
Just as a
behind.
reminder, we need to have quiet for the start of the race. As soon as the race is off, cheer your little lungs off. But let's have quiet for the start, please. We need to have, the swimmers need to be able to hear the starter. Thank you.
Rollins staying ahead here in lane 5. Looks like lane 7 is going to finish that up second. So 41.43 for Rollins. 43.79 coming in for Crane. Other boards coming, other times coming on the board. Looks like third place is going to be between those two. In lane 6, 47.25 for Roeder. Excellent times for all those girls. Incredible PRs, taking seconds off of their time. We are very proud of you for pulling off that feat tonight. Heat number 2. Heat number 3 coming up.
Event number 5, girls 9-10, 50-yard freestyle. Heat number 3 of 9, Mr. Referee.
In the water, we have lane number 1, Carlisle, lane 2, Holtzel, lane 3, Sachs, lane 4, Moore, lane 5, Geschwantner, lane 6, Patterson, lane 7, Freeman, and lane 8, Chetland. Looks like lane 2, Holtzel, is coming around that bend, followed quickly by that lane 3, Sachs. And lane 5 looks to be coming up from the outside. It's Patterson. Let's take a look at the times as they come to the blocks. Again, that Holtzel setting a seed time of 49.66. She will beat that handily with 37.87 on the clock. 39.99 coming in for Gavansner. And looks like a third place finish right next door to her with more in lane 4. Great times all around. I see a lot of PRs on that board tonight.
Event number 5, girls 9-10 50-yard freestyle, heat number 4 of 9. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 4, stepping up on the blocks now. And the girls are in the water. Lane number 1, Knight. Lane 2, Schultz. Lane 3, Schuyler. Lane 4, Petticord. Lane 5, Pinnell. Lane 6, Urbanska. Lane 7, Yuri. And lane 8, Bumball. Looks like that lane number 5 is going to hit that wall first, if I can see that correctly. Lane 5 pulling a full body length. Oh, lane 8 might be coming from the outside. Lane 8 I always seem to miss because of people on that deck. Let's take a look as they come to the finish line here. Looks like it is lane 8 is going to be bringing in the first place position, Bombal. We're waiting on these times to come in, folks. I don't know if that was a soft touch or what's going on here, but we don't have a time coming in for lane 8, although it did look like she touched first. So I'm not going to give you any times because it definitely looks like some soft touches all around.
Event number 5, girls 9-10 50-yard freestyle, heat number 5 of 9. Mr. Referee.
Going to want to check Meet Mobile on that last race to see who came in first. But in the water, we have lane 1, Wozniak, lane 2, Lanovich, lane 3, Bradley, lane 4, Kadutz, lane 5, Helt, lane 6, Barassa, lane 7, Rayner, lane 8, Galbraith. Tough one to watch there, but it looked like lane 6 and lane 4 rounded the bend first. Lane 6 pulling ahead, that's Barassa. And coming into the wall here, let's take a look. These girls coming under the 40-second mark handily. It's going to be that Barassa, 37.6. Followed very closely by 38.4 there in lane 4. At lane 3, 38.5. And that's going to be Katutz and Bradley pulling that 3rd and 4th position. Great times for all those girls. Looks like some PRs, especially for lane 8. Or I'm sorry, lane 6.
Event number 5, girls 9-10 50-yard freestyle, heat number 6 of 9. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 6 is on the blocks. Hope for some quiet on the deck here. And they're in the water. Lane 1, Solomon. Lane 2, Heyerholzer. Lane 3, Uzi. Lane 4, Tinsman. Lane 5, Hock. Lane 6, Johnson. Lane 7, Hoffhines. Lane 7, Svets. And far into the pool, looks like a cluster. Lanes 2 and 4 pulling ahead. Just barely lane 5. Making ground on lane 4. That's Hock versus Tinsman. And we're going to take a look here and see what happens as they come to that finish line. It's going to close one, folks. And it does look like that lane 4 is going to pull ahead. Tinsman pulling a first place position, 34.7. Followed very closely with a cluster of 35s. Lane 3 followed by lane 2. That's going to be Uzi and Heyerholzer. Great job, girls. Blink and you'll miss it here.
Event number 5, girls 910, 50-yard freestyle. Heat number 7 of 9, Mr. Referee.
Heat 7 at the blocks. In the water now is lane 1, Kuzik, lane 2, Carroll, lane 3, Zonlin, lane 4, Tewksbury, lane 5, Johnson, lane 4, Mapufu, lane 7, LaForme, and lane 8, Hawthorne. Looks like lane 3 is ahead of the game here at the turn. That's Solin. Although it does look like Mapufu, lane 6, is giving her a run for her money, and lane 8, always a dark horse. I seem to lose them, making up some ground. That's Hawthorne. But let's take a look as they hit the wall. And it's very close here, folks. Lane 3 looks to be pulling that first place. That's Zolin with a time of 33.03. Her time is 34.67 coming into this, so that's a great PR personal best for her. Lane 2 looks like, or I'm sorry, lane 4 is going to be second place. Oh, I'm sorry, lane 6 is second place.
Event number 5, girls 910, 50-yard freestyle. Heat number 8 of 9, Mr. Referee.
Again, great times, seconds of PR there tonight. And for Heat 8, the girls are on the blocks. In lane 1, Hummel, lane 2, Shadler, lane 3, Short, lane 4, O'Connor, lane 5, Garnsey, lane 6, Kiefer, lane 7, Bratton, and in lane 8, Walborn. Again, all great competitors here. Lane 3 coming to the wall first. Short, making short work of this pole. Lane 4 knocking down her door. Lane 5, we have a great race here at the near side of the pool. It's anybody's race at this point. Who wants it the most? Let's find out. And it's going to be lane 3 coming in first. That's Short by 32.19 seconds. Close second place, 32.64. Her next door neighbor O'Connor, and next to her, Guernsey. Again, personal, let's see what the times are there. 32.19, definitely a PR for Short. 32.64 looks close to what O'Connor's
Event number
time
5,
was.
girls 910, 50-yard freestyle. Heat number 9 of 9, Mr. Referee.
Final heat, we're going to see some great times, I'm sure, tonight from these girls. But they got a lot of great prior competition they have to contend with as well. Lane 1, Fleshaker. Lane 2, Evans. Lane 3, Alderson. Lane 4, Boyle. Lane 5, Connors. Lane 6, Bolin. Lane 7, Anderson. And lane 8, Pryor. That Boyle is the one to watch here, almost ahead by one body length as she comes into that turn. Great transition. Looks like that... I'm sorry, Connors looks like she's doing well as well. It's a great race here tonight. Let's see how they do. If we have any PRs here, 27.57 on the board for lane number 4, Boyle. Great time there. She came into this with 27.74. That's a PR by a few tenths of a second. 29.78 and 29.28 surrounding her. So second place looks to be that lane 5, Connors.
That takes us to the boys now. Event number 6, boys 910, 50-yard freestyle. We'll have 7 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
Incredible times for those girls tonight. And we move right along to event number 6, boys 9 and 10, 50-yard freestyle. We got 7 heats. So sit back and relax and enjoy all the action from the comfort of your own home or your vehicle. We know we have some parents out here in the parking lot, and we thank you for keeping us safe and allowing these swimmers to keep going and enjoy a season. As it gets set up, lane 1 will be Tim. He had a great race here at the IM, so someone to watch is that lane 1. No seed time for him, but I don't think he needs one. Lane 2, Cluxon, also a great swimmer here tonight. Lane 3, Goschnauer. Lane 4, Zarns. Lane 5, Clark. Lane 6, Cahill. Lane 7, Boot. And lane 8, Heilman. Looks like that lane 1 and 2. Lane 2 looks to be ahead by just a hair. Lane 7 knocking on the door as well. Again, from my vantage point, I do have quite an angle, and some of these closer lanes are blocked, but it does look like lane 7 is giving lanes 1 and 2 a run for their money from my vantage point. Lane 2 coming in first place. That's Cluxon, followed very closely by lane 1, Tim. And it does look like that lane 7 pulled that third place position with 36.23. No times except for Zarns on here, and he made incredible leaps and bounds on his PR time. He pulled off a 37.16, and that's a great time for him to round out that fourth place position. He entered in with 53 seconds as his heat time, so incredible.
Event number 6, boys 9-10, 50-yard freestyle, heat number 2 of 7.
Incredible,
Mr. Referee.
And you know, this season we have a lot of kids that haven't had many meets, and so they're coming in maybe from, you know, times from months ago, and so they've made great improvements over the last few months. Heat number 2 on the blocks. And the boys are in the water. We have in lane 1, Titter. Lane 2, Monroe. Lane 3, Taylor. Lane 4, Burley. Lane 5, Smith. Lane 6, Brusick. Lane 7, Lindsay. Lane 8, Cottingham. Cottingham looking great, hitting the wall first, followed closely by lanes, looks like 5 and 1 are in that competition too. It's a race there in the center as well between 4 and 5. And so we have in those lanes 4 and 5 are Burley and Smith. Lane 8, Cottingham. And we'll take a look to see who's going to finish this race ahead of whom. Coming in around the 37, 38, 37. It's very close. Lane 1 wins it. Titter, followed closely by Cottingham. Coming in from the outside, those boys pulled it off. Third place is going to be lane 5. Smith and Burley pulling in lane 4. Great times for all these boys. Many of them starting around the 45,
Event number 6, boys 9-10, 50-yard freestyle. Heat number 3 of 7, Mr. Referee.
And heat number 3 is at the blocks. And in the water, we have lane 1, Flinchbow, lane 2, Johnson, lane 3, Hop Carter, lane 4, Howard, lane 5, Merrill, lane 6, King, lane 7, Hahn, and in lane 8, Drake. Looks like very close race here between lanes 2 through 5. Could be anybody's race here, although it looks to me that lanes 2 and 3 are pulling the lead here. That would be Johnson and Hop Carter. But no, it looks like lane 8 is also in the contending, so let's take a look at the board here and see what our timing system says, because I can't tell. Whoa, that is very close. We have 3 36-second times. Looks to me that lane 5 pulled it out and made it by 0.3 seconds. That lane 5 being Merrill. He came in with 39-second seed time. Lane 2 pulling in a close second.
Event number 6, boys 9-10, 50-yard freestyle. Heat number 4 of 7, Mr. Referee.
Incredible. In lane 8, Drake rounding out with the third place position. All those boys dropping incredible amounts of time. Heat number 4. In the water, we have Vasquez in lane 1, lane 2, Suffer, lane 3, Gray, lane 4, Kickline, lane 5, Worth, lane 6, Canali, lane 7, Newman, lane 8, Madden. All these boys pulling ahead. Looks like lane 3 is slightly in front of lane 4, and that's a competition now between Gray and Kickline. Although some of these boys are catching up very quickly. Lane 3 maintaining a slight lead of Kickline, that's Gray. Both these boys from Keystone pulling in seed times of 35 and 36 respectively. 35 for kick line. Let's take a look to see what happens here. Looks like lane 3 is going to hit that board first. That's going to be Gray edging out kick line by just a few tenths of a second. Kick line coming in 30 with 34.26. That's personal best for both those boys. And trying to look at this board here quick. 35.58 is going to be that lane 5. That's Worth coming from the fast.
Event number 6, boys 9-10, 50-yard freestyle, heat number 5 of 7.
Great job,
Mr.
boys.
Referee.
Heat 5 now on the deck. Ready for the blocks. In the water, lane number 1, Cummings. Lane 2, Gorvoy. Lane 3, Horrigan. Lane 4, Maximus. Lane 5, Laskowski. Lane 6, Davies. Lane 7, Gretz. And lane 8, Coons. Looks like that lane 5 is slightly ahead at the turn. Lane 5 is Laskowski. So watch that lane 5. Let's see where the boys come in with a time of 31.7. Followed closely by 32.16 and 33.14. And wow, incredible times tonight. Laskowski pulling it off there for the first place win in this heat. 32.16 for Horrigan. 33.14 for Gorvoy.
Event number 6, boys 9-10, 50-yard freestyle, heat number 6 of 7, Mr. Referee.
All those boys coming in with the times around the 34-second mark, so I think we saw some great PRs tonight in that heat. Heat number 6. In the water, lane number 1, Solomon. Lane 2, Turk Keller. Lane 3, Wolf. Lane 4, Bueller. Lane 5, McCouch. Lane 6, Kurtzman. Lane 7, Gaudion. Lane 8, Hassan. And it's anybody's race here, folks, although it does look like right out of that turn, lanes 3 and 4 have emerged as the front runners. Lane 4 especially coming up, Bueller. So we're going to take a look at the board here and see who pulls ahead. Around 30-second mark, 30.58 for lane 3, Wolf. Followed closely by lane 4, Bueller. Both of those boys taking a good bit of chunk of time off of their seeds. 32.01, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, that makes sense.
Event number 6,
32.01 looks
boys
like
9-10, 50-yard freestyle, heat number 7 of 7, Mr. Referee.
Henry Gaudion pulling out a PR for the third place position there tonight. Final heat, the boys 50-yard freestyle, 9-10. In lane 1, Dashko. Lane 2, Kokoran. Lane 3, Edwards. Lane 4, Filmanov. Lane 3, Baumgartner. Lane 6, Skitman. Lane 7, Kramarkov. And lane 8, Chernik. Very quick moving here in lane 4 and 5. Although it looks like 6 is not out of contention. We're looking at Filmanov, Baumgartner, and Gitman. All in the race here to pull out something under 28 seconds, and they did it. Filmanov coming in at 27.58. Second place looks like it's going to be Baumgartner, 28.01. PRs for both those boys. Third place, Edwards at 28.5.
Event number 7, girls 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke. They'll have 9 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
All those boys must be very pleased with those PRs tonight. Next up, event number 7, girls 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke. First up on the blocks is lane number 3, Frenkel. One of the youngest swimmers here tonight. Being a 6-year-old and pulling a legal breaststroke is quite a feat, and so congratulations, Elizabeth, as she gets in the pool. Lane 4, Mikaj, and lane 5, Zielik. All these girls doing wonderful. Frenkel, especially with her turnover rate, she's got that smaller build, but she's making up for it and actually pulling ahead here of Mikaj, which is in lane 4. Zielik is ahead at this moment. Also 6 years old. Great form and turnover. Putting an insurmountable distance between her and the other swimmers. Looks like Frenkel is pulling ahead slightly of Mikaj in this final leg, of the breaststroke. And it's going to be Zielik easily coming into that wall at 102.45. Amazing for a 6-year-old. Almost a 30-second, 25-yard time there, and so amazing. Followed by a few seconds, about 10 seconds away, would be that Frenkel at 112.54 and 120.82 on the board from Mikaj. Great way to start their 50-yard breaststroke here tonight at Keystone Aquatic Center. On to heat
Event
number
number
2.
7, girls 9-10, 50-yard breaststroke, heat number 2 of 9. Mr. Referee.
And they're in the water. Lane 2, Patterson. Lane 3, Jordan. Lane 4, Davis. Lane 5, Svets. Lane 6, Hosley. And lane 7, Panau. Looks like lane 4, Davis, is the front runner here, followed very closely by lane 6, Hosley. Lane 6 pulling ahead with that wonderful turnover in her breaststroke. Combination of great technique and speed, making headway tonight in the pool. Let's take a look as they approach the final stretch here and see what those times are going to be. Again, we don't have any times for any of these girls, and so it's really anybody's race, but we got a 55.45 for Hosley and a 102.69 for Jordan. And a 107. I'm sorry, 107 for Jordan, 102.69 for Davis. Great times, ladies. Great job.
Event number 7, girls 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke, heat number 3 of 9. Mr. Referee.
And we're starting heat number 3. Here we go in lane 1, Howell. Lane 2, Hutzel. Lane 3, Chetlin. Lane 4, Lynn. Lane 5, Crane. Lane 6, Carlisle. Lane 7, Freeman. And in lane 8, Bombau. Right now, looks like that lane 4 is in the lead by just about a head length. Lane 2 taking up a second place position. And that's going to be Lynn. Lynn and Holtzel, they are vying for the position tonight. The win in this heat. Again, both those girls coming in no time. Might be their first meet of the year, we don't know. But putting down great times tonight in the Keystone Aquatics pool. And it looks like it is going to be Lynn coming in first in this heat, 50.38. Followed closely by Holtzel, 54.56. And 56.37, the dark horse in lane 8, Bumball. Great job, ladies. Coming up next, heat number 4 of the girls, 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke. This heat
Event number 7, girls 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke.
10-year-olds,
Heat
although
number
we do have a
4
7-year-old
of
here in
9,
this heat.
Mr. Referee.
My girl, lane number 2. I'm keeping an eye on lane number 2. Great start, ladies. Lane number 1, Rosinski. Lane 2, Kickline. Lane 3, Geschwantner. Lane 4, Rayner. Lane 5, Petticord. Lane 6, Solomon. Lane 7, Weinberg. Lane 8, McCobb. Looks to me like lane 2 is in the, actually lane 8 from the outside. I always got to check lane 8 here. Definitely pulling great times here. That's Caroline McCobb with the first turn at the corner. Looks like lanes 1, 2, and 4 turning approximately at the same time. That's Rosinski, Kickline, and Rayner. Lane 4 pulling ahead. Looks like that second place position, Rayner, making great ground. And lane 1 also pulling ahead here tonight. That's Rosinski. These girls all pulling times a little bit less than 1 minute and 20 seconds. Let's take a look at the board. 48.44 for McCobb. That's a wonderful time. She came in with no time. The dark horse. Lane 4, 57.75. Lane 1, 56.37. That's our second place position. Kickline coming in at 1 minute, 3 seconds. That's definitely a PR for her as well. And PRs all around, looks like, for all these girls. Amazing time. Even one of our best times, Petticord, 1 minute and 6.77.
Event number 7, girls 9-10, 50-yard breaststroke. Heat number 5 of 9, Mr. Referee.
And we got heat number 5 on the blocks, making sure everybody starts together tonight. And in the water, lane number 1, Keller. Lane 2, Knight. Lane 3, Smith. Lane 4, Patterson. Lane 5, Pinnell. Lane 6, Carter. Lane 7, Hoffhines. And lane 8, Morlock. Looks like that lane 3 is pulling ahead by about more than a body length in front of lane number 5 tonight. Lane 3 being Stella Smith. Great streamline. Lane 5 making ground here on Smith. Lane 5 is Pinnell. And I always have to watch these outside lanes because they seem to sneak up on me. Looks like lane 7 wants that win even more. Let's take a look at the board as they finish this race, this heat number 5 tonight. Looks like lane number 3 is going to pull that off, followed by lane number 5. Looks like we might have had a soft touch there on some of these lanes, so I wouldn't trust all these times that I'm seeing on the board. So I'm going to suggest that you wait for the official times on that race. And check Meet Mobile, but look like some great times to me.
Event number 7, girls 9-10, 50-yard breaststroke. Heat number 6 of 9, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 6 on the blocks. Lane number 1, Bogani. Lane 2, Jowd. Lane 3, Hoover. Lane 4, Wozniak. Lane 5, Jones. Lane 6, Sheeler. Lane 7, Galbraith. And lane 8, King. Looks like lane 2 wants to get to the first turn, or the turn first here. That's Jowd. So all the way on the way back, we got some second place times coming in here on lanes 5 and 6. Although lane 8 also looks like she's pulling in a number 4. Who are all these people? That's a good question. Let's check it out. Jowd seems to be holding ground there against the other two as they come into the finish. It's going to be lane 2, Jowd, with a time of 47.16, followed by a very close finish between Jones and Sheeler, 50.86 to 51.5 respectively. And great times all around for those girls.
Event number 7, girls 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke, heat number 7 of 9. Mr. Referee.
And heat number 7 at the blocks here for the 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke. And in the water, we have lane 1, Helt, lane 2, Linovich, lane 3, Tewksbury, lane 4, Detulio, lane 5, Urbanska, lane 6, Barassa, lane 7, Usi, and in lane 8, Roberts. All these girls coming in at about the same pace here to the turn. Lane 2 and 5. Lane 5 pulled it ahead for first at the turn. We're looking at Urbanska from the B first team. She's now in a first and second position along with lane 6. It appears Barassa vying for that first place, might be pulling ahead. A lot of competition here tonight. Who's going to clinch it? Looks like that's going to be lane 5, Urbanska, with a time of 47.26, although Barassa almost caught her with 47.4. Great times, excellent PRs here for these girls tonight. We're very proud of you all. Third place coming in, lane 3 and fourth position before, with a time of 48.45.
Event number 7, girls 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke,
and Detulio
heat number
will be
8 of 9, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 8 on the blocks. In the water, lane 1, Solon, lane 2, Mapufu, lane 3, Short, lane 4, Pryor, lane 5, Kiefer, lane 6, Johnson, lane 7, Hawthorne, and in lane 8, Vickner. All these girls coming into the wall almost the same time, it appears. Mapufu might be, well, let's see who touches. Oh, actually touch first would be lane 6. That's going to be Johnson. And it's anybody's race at this point, trying to see if anybody's coming ahead, although it looks like that lane 5 and 6 are holding ground on the others, but let's take a look as they come in to the finish line. 45.8 being pulled off by Kiefer, actually, in that lane 5 position. 45.96 from Garnsey. I'm sorry, that was Boland. Wait, I think they put the other names up on me, so I apologize for that. But great times, ladies.
Event number 7, girls 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke, heat number 9 of 9, Mr. Referee.
Heat 9 on the blocks. Final heat. In the water, lane 1, Makovich. Lane 2, Mahler. Lane 3, Connors. Lane 4, Boyle. Lane 5, Bolin. Lane 6, Garnsey. Lane 7, O'Connor. And in lane 8, Fouts. Looks like that lane 4, Boyle, wants to win this tonight. Almost a body length ahead as she makes the turn. She's ceding no ground to her closest competitor. Looks like lane 3 and 4 want to take her on. That would be Connors and Bolin surrounding Boyle as she comes into the finish line easily, just over 30 seconds with a time of 36.33, followed by Connors 38.03 and Bolin 39.34. Excellent times on the board for all those girls. Looks like Boyle pulled a PR of almost a second off of her seed time, which was 37.37. So we're very proud of her tonight. Next up, event number 8, boys 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke.
Event number 8, boys 9-10 or 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke. There'll be 7 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
In the water, lane 2, Zamkov. Lane 3, Kurtzman. Lane 4, we're just going to say Maxim. Lane 5, Nikas. Lane 6, Cleary. And lane 7, Nikita. Many of these swimmers coming from the Be First Aquatics Club, and I got to tell you, we see good things from that club. Running the turn first would be lane 4, Maxim. No seat times for these boys, so we're not sure exactly where they stand in the pool, but I think some of these later heats are going to have some times to contend with tonight. And who will it be as we come into the finish line here? Looks like they're going to pull it off under 1 minute, 56.65 for Maxim, followed closely by 102.33 Nikas Kapanets. Great job, boys. Next up will be heat number 2 as Nikita and Cleary finish their race.
Event number 8, boys 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke. Heat number 2 of 7, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 2 coming on now at the blocks. Boys 50-yard breaststroke. In the water, we have in lane 1, Zamkov, lane 2, Janusov, lane 3, Zarns, lane 4, Titter, lane 5, Bruzik, lane 6, Caldwell, lane 7, Bratton, and lane 8, Uruk. Looks like a close race here to the turn between lanes 3, 4, and 5. Almost the same time. It looks like lane 4 did pull ahead slightly, but didn't have quite the streamline as lane 5, Bruzik. Titter and Bruzik now in a race with Zarns to the finish. Let's take a look at the finish line here. Who's going to touch first? We're well under the minute mark at this point. It's going to be 56.81. Bruzik pulling out a lead over Bratton in lane 7. And then followed by Zarns in lane 3. Titter pulling out a 4th place position. Again, no seat times for these boys, but great times all around to get under that 1 minute mark. Caldwell finishing up here, heat number 2.
Event number 8, boys not 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke, heat number 3 of 7. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 3 of 7 at the blocks right now. Boys 10 and under breaststroke. Lane 1 in the water, Cluxon. Lane 2, Cottingham. Lane 3, Ritchie. Lane 4, Bogami. Lane 5, Herbine. Lane 6, Lindsay. Lane 7, Bliss. And in lane 8, Taylor. Looks like lane 1 is well ahead of the pack here. It's Cluxon, followed closely by lane 2, Cottingham. Making that turn, great streamline. Lane 1 still holding much needed position against Cottingham. Lane 7 also a contender here, Bliss. As they come into the finish line, it's Cluxon coming under 50 seconds with a 49.54, followed closely by Cottingham's 54.51 and Bliss 54.62. Great job, boys. Heat number 4 coming up.
Event number 8, boys 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke, heat number 4 of 7. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 4 at the blocks, as the announcers said. And we'll be getting this race on shortly. In lane 1, Burley. Lane 2, Drake. Lane 3, Smith. Lane 4, Pagano. Lane 5, Flinchbow. Lane 6, Monroe. Lane 7, Toth. And in lane 8, Getz. All the boys coming in evenly across the pool. We'll see if there's a forerunner here at the split. Looks like that lane 7 is pulling ahead of the pack here. And lane 7 is going to make that turn first. Toth coming in for the return. And it's him, followed by, looks like lane 6, Monroe. And then the rest of the pack pulling behind him. Looks like Toth is the man to beat here tonight. And let's take a look as they come into that finish line. Still well under the... It looks like it will be Toth with 51.83, followed closely by Monroe, 53.96, and Smith, 54.44. Excellent times for all those boys. Excellent PRs all around tonight. Next up will be heat number 5.
Event number 8, boys 10 and under, 50-yard breaststroke, heat number 5 of 7. Mr. Referee.
Heat 5 at the blocks here. I have a horse in this race with lane number 1, Kickline, lane 2, Hop Carter, lane 3, Gray, lane 4, Kurtzman, lane 5, Horrigan, lane 6, Howard, lane 7, Canali, lane 8, Madden. And we have a false start here. Most of them went in. Half of them went in the water. That's okay. Want to break that surface tension. All these boys coming with times well under 1 minute. The best time here, Kurtzman, the man to look at, 50 seconds. Boys are in the water. Great streamlines. Looks like a race between Kickline and Hop Carter has formed here in lanes 1 and 2. Excellent times. Lane 4 with that turnover, easily beating them out after the start here. Lane 4 is that Kurtzman making the bend first. Looks like Eli turned their second or third place there. And lane 5 Horrigan. Right now, lane 4, Kurtzman in a lead with a commanding position. As they come to the board, he's going to get something in the 40s, 43.18 for Kurtzman. Amazing time, followed by Horrigan, 46.82. Kickline coming out 48.98. And 53.73, Hop Carter, 53.87 for Howard. Excellent times all around for all those boys.
Event number 8, boys 10 and under 50-yard breaststroke. Heat number 6 of 7, Mr. Referee.
Next up, heat number 6 at the blocks. Got a failure at launch here tonight, but that's okay. We'll just reset here and get this race going. In the water, lane 1, Laskowski, lane 2, Hahn, lane 3, Maximus, lane 4, Salomon, lane 5, Davies, lane 6, Worth, lane 7, Ezips, and in lane 8, Zativ. And it looks like great racing here tonight. Breaststroke is happening in lane 3 and 4, neck and neck position here. Maximus and Salomon. Maximus looks like he lost a little bit of ground there on the turn. And Salomon pulling ahead by a little bit here. Let me take a look at lane 8, though. That looks like somebody to watch. I always seem to miss them because of the deck, but let's take a look as they come in to the finish line. It'll be Salomon, followed very shortly by Maximus. Salomon pulling a 44.75 time tonight. 45.05 for Maximus and 47s, high 47s for the rest of the pack. Finishing up by Laskowski at 49.42. And great times all around for those boys as well. Looks like Salomon just barely missed a PR there. He came into this
Event
race
number 8, boys 10 and under
44.47.
50-yard breaststroke. Final heat, heat number 7 of 7, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 7 at the blocks. Final heat.
Last heat of boys.
And they're in the water. Great starts. Really reaching out there. Wonderful streamlines. Looks like we have quite a race here between all these competitors. Although that lane 4 wants it the most. As he's coming in lane 5, trailing just slightly behind. That's Edwards. Lane 1, Gorvoy. Lane 2, Cummings. Lane 3, Myers. Lane 4, Edwards. Lane 5, Chernick. Lane 6, Seelick. Lane 7, Trashkow. And lane 8, Gaudion. But it looks like it's going to be lane 3 coming in first with a time of, 35.31. Edwards followed closely by Chernick, 36.51. high 38s for many on this pack here, and taking a look at how they did, it looks like that was a PR for Chernick, also a PR for Edwards by a few tenths of a second. Great job, boys. And we're going to be moving on to event number 9, girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke.
Event number 9, girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. 6 heats. Heat number 1.
So starting us off here for heat number 1, we have 3 swimmers. Lane 3, Newell. Lane 4, Berman. Lane 5, Howe. And no seed times for them, but don't count any of them out. And we're going to be starting here from our bulkhead for the 25-yard event. Got a false start on this one, folks. Again, this might be the first meet for some of these girls, and so we're very proud of them for stepping up to the plate, or actually the blocks in this case. Caroline Newell in lane 3, being 7 years old. Nora Berman, 8 years old, and Eleanor
Again,
Howell,
guys, we need a reminder to keep it. We need to
7
be
years
quiet
old.
at the start of the race.
Looks like that 8-year-old Berman's going to be
We want to keep the
moving
noise down
quicker
for the
here
start of the
towards
race
the finish
and
line
up
as she
during the race.
approaches that, followed very closely by Howell. And it's going to be a 21.14 for Berman. Very pleased with that time. None of these girls have a seed time. And looks like a low 30s here for Howell, 34.89. And Newell rounding it out with 37.73. Heat number 2 on deck.
Event number 9, girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Heat number 2 of 6. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 2 is in the water. Okay, these girls we have times for under the 40-second mark. So we'll see how they do tonight. Lane 1, Keller. Lane 2, Kramer. Lane 3, Kramer. Lane 4, Geschwantner. Lane 5, Nugent. Lane 6, Zarens. Lane 7, Welkner. And lane 8, Naylor. Sometimes when I have a German name, I end up saying other names with the German pronunciation. Looks like a great race. Lane 1 looks like, well, in the lead would be Keller coming in here with a time of, definitely look like a 24 to 25 second time, and we'll have might have some soft touches tonight on the board. Definitely some soft touches, but I think the lane 1 pulled to 24-25 seconds. So definitely, I'm not seeing times that I want to report here right now, but definitely something you want to check that Meet Mobile about for the official time once that comes in.
Event number 9, girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Heat number 3 of 6. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 3 in the water here tonight. As we move to another page of the heat sheet. Lane number 1, we have Chetland. Lane 2, Capuni. Lane 3, Elena. Lane 4, Lanovich. Lane 5, Seelick. Lane 6, Fritz. Lane 7, Capuni. And lane 8, Katus. Some of these girls pulling under 30-second times in the 25-yard back. And it's hard to see. Everybody's on the deck. When we do this bulkhead, looks like lane 3 might be pulling in here with the lead. With, again, might have a soft touch on that. Actually, lane 5, we have a 27.2 time. Lane 1, 28.24. So Seelick, at least according to our board, says came in with that first place position. 28.24 for Chetland. Great times there. 29.61 for Katus. But again, we might have had some soft touches as they came into that wall. Next up, heat number 4. Bagot. Lane 7, Pinnell. Lane 8, Hosley. Many of these girls pulling around the 26, 27, 28 second mark. Let's take a look at how they're doing. Looks like a race between lanes 4 and 5, as we expect. Lane 4 being Macaj. Lane 5, Kickline, as they kick it into the wall here as fast as their little bodies can go. Many 7 and 8-year-olds. Looks like Macaj is going to come into that wall first with a time of 25.56. And we don't have times. There's again soft touches sometimes with these younger kids, but that's a time to beat there. But it did look like Kickline came in slightly after that. Bagot at 27.7. So hard to tell. Check your official times on these when you get a chance. Great times all around, girls.
Event number 9, girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Heat number 5 of 6. Mr. Referee.
Heat 5 is up and in the water. Lane 1, Springer. Lane 2, Wozniak. Lane 3, Jowd. Lane 4, Frankel. Lane 5, Bender. Lane 6, Killar. Lane 7, Graziano. Lane 8, Patterson. And it's hard to tell here, but it looks like lane 6 is taking that lead. Killar. Her seed time, 25.07. Bender's seed time right next to her, 24. Let's take a look as they hit the finish line. That Killar has been working hard at her time, 21.9. Handily beat everyone else here. Many in the mid-23 cluster. So as far as I could tell, 23.73. Frankel swimming as a 6-year-old from B first, coming in second, the 23.7. I'm sorry, Jowd coming in 23.52 second. And, oh, I'm sorry. They keep changing the names on me, so I apologize for that. Next up, heat number 6. Final heat.
Event number 9, girls 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. Heat number 6 of 6. Mr. Referee.
Final heat of the girls, 25-yard backstroke. It's going to be a fast one, folks. Don't blink. You might miss it. In lane number 1, we have Smith. Lane 2, Damani. Lane 3, Jowd. Lane 4, Wigington. Lane 5, Riley. Lane 6, Johnson. Lane 7, DeTulio. And lane 8, Carter. It's hard to tell from my vantage point, but it does look like that lane 8 is coming in strong from the outside. Let's take a look at the board as they finish this off. Actually, it looks like lane 3, Jowd, will pull a first place position, 20.58. She had a seed time of 22.62. Great work there. 20.78 for Wigington. Also a PR. Carter doing well. I'm sorry, Tutulio doing well. 21.22. That must have been the lane I saw coming in. Also, getting about 2 seconds. Taking 2 seconds off her time.
Event number 10, boys 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. There'll be 4 heats. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
Moving right along, we have event number 10, boys 8 and under, 25-yard backstroke. So we're going to be starting on our bulkhead. Lane number 3, Bogami. Lane 4, Selik. Lane 5, Yanusov. Bogami coming from the Keystone Aquatics Club. Selik and Yanusov coming from B first. Looks like those B first boys are cruising here down the pool. Yeah, but it is going to be that lane 4. Selik is going to handily finish this race with 17.33. All these boys coming in with no times, but as you can see, the rest of these heats are going to have to contend with that 17.33 time. Will they be able to beat that is the question. Stay tuned, and let's find out. Yunosov coming in with 27.46 time, and Bogami is still working to finish. And he's going to hit the wall here with a time, pretty good time here for him. Around the low 40-second mark, might have been a soft touch on that one. Great job, boys.
Event number 10, boys 8 and under 25-yard backstroke. Heat number 2 of 4, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 2 getting in the water right now. Looks like that lane number 4, Rosenfeld, is going to be the man to beat in this race. So for heat number 2 in lane 1, Cunningham, lane 2, Sox, lane 3, Cleary, lane 4, Rosenfeld, lane 5, Nugent, lane 6, Pagano, lane 7, Carver. Looks like that lane 1 is doing very well. That would be Cunningham. I've seen him do pretty well in races before. Also lane 7, Pagano, coming in not to be beat. He's coming in strong. Let's take a look at our times on the board. Cunningham looks like he would come in first, followed by Carver. Looks like a soft touch for Cunningham, but time of 25.4 for Carver. I suspect that Cunningham might have beat him slightly to that. Both those boys coming in with no times to this event, but doing very well for themselves. Cleary coming in with 35.82, and that's going to be a definite personal best for him, taking almost a second off of his time, followed by 36.46 of Nugent. Coming up, heat number 3.
Event number 10, boys 8 and under 25-yard backstroke. Heat number 3 of 4, Mr. Referee.
In the water, heat 3. Second from the last heat, now in the water. Lane 1, Roberts. Lane 2, Komarkov. Lane 3, Laskowski. Lane 4, Kurtzman. Lane 5, Ritchie. Lane 6, Madden. Lane 7, Caldwell. Lane 8, Zamkov. Kurtzman, the man to beat, I believe. Ritchie might take him down. Here we go. Kurtzman has a seat time of 26.06. Some of these boys looks like have that 26 time, but it looks like they all want to PR tonight against some of those seat times. Let's find out here. Hard to tell from my vantage point who's in the lead, but it does look like it would be lane 5, which I believe was Ritchie. And as they come into the wall, 23.43 for Ritchie, 24.73 for Kurtzman. Looked awesome in the water, and Zamkov 27.27 for his time. Fourth place Kramalkov at 28.61. Many of those boys taking a good chunk of time off. They came in with about 26 second time, dropped it down to 24.73 and 23.43 time. So great PRs for those boys
4
as well.
Mr. Referee.
Final heat for the boys, 25-yard backstroke. Lane 1, we have Smith. Lane 2, Aveltsev. Lane 3, Zamkov. Lane 4, Haruk. Lane 5, Maxim. Lane 6, Bratton. Lane 7, Herbine. And in lane 8, Kaponets. Let's see if these boys, we have Horuk coming in with a seat time of 21.58. Let's see if these boys can get under that 20-second mark tonight. Looks like a great race here. Lane 1, Smith. Lane 2, I think I already announced that. blink and you'll miss it, folks. I was just talking to see where this B First group is from. They're from the lower Bucks County area, and they definitely look like they've been training hard coming in. First place will be that 22.31 for Avoltsev, followed very closely by Zamkov, 23.73. 22.81 for Herbine, however. I might have missed that one. That looks like the second place position. All PRs there as well. We're very proud of these boys for those times that they just laid down. Congratulations. We are moving on very quickly to event number 11, girls 9 and 10, 100-yard backstroke.
And takes us to event number 11, which will be the girls 9 and 10 100-yard backstroke. We'll have 5 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
Starting off heat number 1, we have 3 swimmers. Lane number 3, Urbanska. Lane 4, Evans. Lane 5, Matthews. No times on the sheet for these girls. Well, let's take a look to see how they do. The 100-yard backstroke is getting underway here. Looks like lane number 4 is easily pulling ahead here. We might have had do we have a scratch on lane 5? I don't see a swimmer there, so it's a 2-woman race. Lane 4 putting lots of water between her. Evans putting water between her and Urbanska. Looks like Summer Evans coming from Cumberland Valley as she gets to the first split. Split time will be 39.05 for her. Alice Urbanska coming in here with a split time just above 50 seconds of 50.
Again, a reminder, swimmers, there is no running on the pool deck. Swimmers, there is no running on the
Summer
pool deck.
Evans
Coaches, there is no running on the pool
final
deck.
turn. Great flip. Still pulling strong here to come into that final finish. Just over 1 1/4. And she's going to hit the wall with a final time of 1:20.71. Again, no times for these ladies coming into this event. Looks like Alice Urbanska working to wrap up her race as well. Next up will be heat number 2. Alice Urbanska coming in with 1 minute 45.79 seconds. Heat number 2 on deck.
Event number 11, girls 9-10, 100-yard backstroke. Heat number 2 of 5. Mr. Referee.
And getting started here for heat number 2, we have in lane 1 Schultz, lane 2 Carroll, lane 3 Rollins, lane 4 Freeman, lane 5 Knight, lane 6 McCobb, lane 7 Lanovich. No times on the board for these girls yet tonight, but we're going to see what they could do. Looks like lane 2 is going to hit the wall first, followed by lane 6 and 7. That'll be Carroll, followed by McCobb and Lanovich. Looks like lane 6 and 7 are coming in strong here and may finish in front of lane 2. Let's take a look at the board here as they come in and kick into the wall. And it is going to still be lane 2. Carroll holds the lead, 41.55, followed by a set of 42s. McCobb, 42.06. Lanovich, 42.26. Closest contender looks like a 48.31 with Schultz in lane 1 for the split. And they're coming back around for the final leg of the backstroke. 6 and 7 holding very strong here for the final leg. Lane 2 still holding that lead as well. It's a race, very close race between lanes 2, 6, and 7. Carroll, McCobb, and Lanovich as they complete the 100-yard backstroke. Let's take a look at those final times. Looks like 6 and 7 caught up to Carroll with 1:26.28. With Lanovich, McCobb, 1:26.71, just tenths of a second apart there. And we have a soft touch for lane 2. The other girls rounding out around the 140s. Coming up next, heat number 5 on deck. Heat 3. What did I say? Heat 5? I'm getting a little Monty Python here on you guys.
Event number
I'm sorry
11,
about
girls.
that. Heat number
9-10,
3
100-yard
is
backstroke.
coming up
Heat
on
number
deck
3.
and in the water.
Mr. Referee.
All right, in the water, lane number 1, Kuzik. Lane 2, Chetland. Lane 3, Chyler. Lane 4, Svets. Lane 5, Bradley. Lane 6, Weinberg. Lane 7, Howell. Lane 8, Hulk. As they come into the first turn here, looks like lane 8 is going to make that turn first, followed closely by lanes 4 and 1. Lane 8 is Hawk. Looks like we have some change in our positions here, and we're going to take a look at the split here just as soon as it comes up on our board to take a look at who is in the lead as we turn. Hawk is in the lead, 42.36 at the split, 44.64 for Kuzik, and Bradley and Svets in the middle of the pool coming in at 46.83, 47.07, putting in very good times. Lane 8 Hawk is maintaining that lead as she comes into the final flip turn for the backstroke, followed by Kuzik in lane 1. Looks like some distance now between lanes 5 and 4. Lane 5, Bradley is pulling ahead of Svets as they come into the wall. Looks like we're going to have a finish. I'm sorry. Yep. Have a finish here coming up shortly. 124.46 for Hawk. As she takes that first place position. 131.47 for Kuzik, 133.74 for Bradley, and 137.03 for Svets. Some of these girls are finishing up, rounding out their backstroke. And we're so proud of all of them and all that great sportsmanship as we cheer on each swimmer in the Keystone Aquatics pool. Howell's finishing up here. Great times for all these girls. Again, only some of our the middle of the pool girls had some seed times there, but great times all around the board here. See some drops, especially for Bradley, who dropped multiple seconds off of her time as well. Heat number 4 on deck.
Event number 11, girls 9-10, 100-yard backstroke. Heat number 4 of 5, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 4 in the water. And they're off in lane 1, King. Lane 2, Heyerholzer. Lane 3, Makovich. Lane 4, Hummel. Lane 5, Solomon. Lane 6, DeTulio. Lane 7, Tinsman. Lane 8, Roberts. And it looks like they're all pretty closely coupled together here. Looks like lane 4 and lane 2 are pulling ahead with a flip turn, almost simultaneous with lane 3 there. Lane 2, which is Heyerholzer, is pulling ahead, although it looks like lane 7 might be making up some time here as well, will be Tinsman. But those couple in the middle there, Heyerholzer, Makovich, Hummel, Solomon. Let's take a look here. And at the split, we have 43.3 for Hummel, 44.54 for Heyerholzer. So it looks like Hummel has pulled ahead slightly, if my eyeballs are not deceiving me as they come up to the turn here. It is still lane 4. Hummel is pulling ahead with this lead that appears to be about a body length in front of lane number 2, Heyerholzer. Let's see if she can maintain that lead as they come in here to the finish. Lane 7 doing well. Tinsman, and we'll take a look here as they kick it in to the wall for the final stretch here. And it's going to be Hummel with a time of 1.5 minutes. Even second place, Heyerholzer pulling a lead here, surprise lead with a 1 minute 29.92, just 0.08 of a second ahead of Hummel, and 131.9 for Solomon. Great times, ladies, great times. Hummel coming into this race with a 129.05. Which
event number 11, girls 910, 100-yard backstroke.
Heyerholzer definitely taking a lot of time off of her
Mr.
entry
Referee.
and pulling a win tonight. Final heat, number 5, the girls 910, 100-yard backstroke. Then after the start, we have in lane 1, Pryor, lane 2, Walborn, lane 3, Alderson, lane 4, Berman, lane 5, Fleischshaker, lane 6, Mahler, lane 7, Short, lane 8, Jones. Looks like lane 4 is going to be making that flip, followed shortly by lane 5, Berman, V, Fleischshaker here in the center of the pool. Looks like the ones to watch here, almost neck and neck as they're coming into the first split. If I was a betting man, I would say lane 4 is going to make that split first, but who knows? Yep, lane 4, Berman, is going to be making the split at 34.29, followed closely by Fleischshaker at 34.92 as they make their way back for the second half of the 100-yard backstroke. Lane number 4 pulling ahead, almost a body length. That's going to be Berman pulling ahead of Fleischshaker. Fleischshaker looks like she might have gained some ground there on that flip turn, and still giving Berman a run for her money here. Can she pull it off? Can she pull off a win? It's going to be a tight one here, but I think it might be Berman. Let's take a look here. As they kick it into the wall, Berman's going to take that first. Could be a soft touch, but Fleischshaker on the board 112.21. Definitely pulling off a PR there, but Berman, I believe, came in first. At least that's what the board said. So check your official times on that one, but both those girls taking significant time off of their elite entries. And followed 118 for Alderson. And she almost pulled a PR there as well. So we're very proud of all those girls. Excellent swimming tonight. We're going to be moving on to event number 12.
Event number 12, boys 9 and 10, 100-yard backstroke. There'll be 3 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
That's what he said. Event number 12, boys 9-10, 100-yard backstroke. In the water, we're going to have lane number 3, Bruzik, lane 4, Lindsay, lane 5, Merrill, lane 6, Hahn. And here we go. Only have a seed time here for Lindsay in lane 4 with a time just under 2 minutes. Although I suspect he probably has improved his time significantly over these last few months. Although it looks like lane number 5 is going to be our forerunner here coming into the wall first. That's Merle, followed closely by Han in lane 6. Again, some of these kids are coming in here with no times, but that might be just because they haven't swam this year in this particular arena. And as they come in, it's very close here. It looks like Han has made some ground, but we're going to check to see what we look like at the split. And it is going to be Merle with the split 42.79, followed closely by Han 45.45. 49.31 for Bruzik as they make their way for the second half of the boys' 100-yard backstroke. Looks like Merle is holding that position by about 1 body length in front of Han as he comes in that final flip turn to return and get that time. It looks like Han might have gained slight ground on that flip, but he's going to need to pick up the pace to give Merle a run for his money. And again, as they head across the pool, it's a little bit more difficult for me to determine how they're doing, but let's take a look at the board. Bruzik coming in 3rd place, it looks like, and Lindsay working on just flip to his final leg of the backstroke as well. Might be some soft touches here on that final for you, so I don't have great times to show you tonight for Han and Merle. Merle putting up a 135.06 on the board. It's hard to tell if that was an accurate time. Bruzel coming in 1 minute 48.85. Lindsay wrapping up his swim with 157.48. Great start to the boys' 9 and 10 100-yard backstroke. Heat number 2 on deck.
Event number 12, boys 9-10, 100-yard backstroke, heat number 2 of 3, Mr. Referee.
And heat number 2 now launching. Lane number 1, Pagano. Lane 2, Vasquez. Lane 3, Hop Carter. Lane 4, Gorvoy. Lane 5, Getz. Lane 6, Burley. Lane 7, Madden. Lane 8, Johnson. Looks like lane 3, Hop Carter, is going to make that turn first, well ahead of the rest of the pack. Here, followed closely by lanes 3 and 5. I might have called that incorrectly, but we're going to see how they do here at the split as they come in. Just under 40 seconds right now, just above 40. 40.7 for Gorvoy. I think I might have called that one wrong with Hop Carter. Getz split 43.28. Hop Carter 44.37. And we got a 44.32 for Johnson in lane 8. I always got to remember to watch that lane 8, that dark horse from the outside. They hide behind everybody on the deck, and sometimes I miss it, but it does look like that lane 4 did make that turn first here, and that's going to be Garvoy coming in here for the final stretch of the boys' 100-yard backstroke. Garvoy looks to be ahead, followed shortly here by Getz, Hop Carter, and Johnson on lane 8. Let's take a look as they come in around the 130 mark. Oh, it's going to be Garvoy. Looks like he touched. Getz is coming in at 129.49. Johnson 130.66. Hop Carter 132.16. Pagano at 136.63. Great times for all those boys. If I could tell them this, I mean, we're taking seconds off of their seed time, so we're very proud of all of them for pulling off that. And we do look like we have a soft touch on Garvoy, but it did look like he pulled a very good time as well. Moving on to the final heat, the boys' 100-yard backstroke. Heat number 3.
Event number 12, boys 9-10, 100-yard backstroke, heat number 3 of 3, Mr. Referee.
And they're off. Lane number 1, Maximus. Lane 2, Kurtzman. Lane 3, Gitman. Lane 4, Dashko. Lane 5, Bueller. Lane 6, Bukaj. Lane 7, Moore. And lane 8, Meyer. Right now, it looks like lane number 4 making that flip well in advance. That would be Dashko. Would be first. Although not to be outdone, lane 7, lane 5, all look like they are pulling some great times. Let's take a look as they come into the split. About 30-second mark just north of that. 32.6 for Dashko. 35.36 for Bueller. 35.99 for Moore.
Just another reminder,
As they
make sure
come back
swimmers, we want to be
across.
wearing our masks at all times, please. We want to be
Dashko
having our
maintaining a
masks
healthy
on.
lead in front of
Social
the rest of
distancing
the
on
contenders.
separation and not running on the pool deck.
Lane
Thank
3,
you.
lane 5, in a tight race for that second place. Lane 7 coming up with probably the fourth place position, although he had a great flip turn and looks to be making some ground here for the final leg. But Dashko is going to be our forerunner here for the finals tonight. Let's take a look to see 109.55 for Dashko's time, 113.66 Bueller, 114.93 for Moore, 115.19 for Gitman. And taking a look at some of these times, I mean, so Dashko's entry time was 111.63. He took about 2 seconds off of his time. Very impressive for all these swimmers tonight. So we're going to be moving along to event number 13, girls 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly, here shortly.
Event number 13, girls 9 and 10. 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly. We'll have 6 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
Okay, guys, here we go. Heat number 1, girls 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly. We are moving right along here. We've been a couple of minutes early, it appears, on my watch here, a few minutes early. Try to get some of these kids to rest. We have 2 days here at the Keystone Aquatic Center. Lane 1, Bugami. Lane 2, DeTulio. Lane 3, Davis. Lane 4, Bombao. Lane 5, Moore. Lane 6, Morlock. Lane 7, Wozniak. Lane 8, Jowd. Lane 4, well in advance here, and that's Bombao. Seeing great things from her tonight. And again, no times for these girls as they're coming to this event, but that could just mean we don't have times for them. And coming into the split, I think it's going to be Bombao here with a time of the split. I don't see the split on the board. Must have been a soft touch, but it was about 40-some seconds. DeTulio coming in 49.07. Morlock 52.93. I'm sorry, that was not the split. We moved to the 50-yard, and I forgot to tell myself that. So final times are coming up. 55.68 is showing up for Bombao, but I think that might have been a soft touch. Morlock 52.93. 49.07 for DeTulio. So check your official times. Quick announcement, if you're in your car waiting for your swimmer, make sure that you pick them up at the far
Event
end of the
number
building.
13,
If you're looking
girls
at
10
the
and
entrance
under,
of the building,
50-yard
pick them up on the
butterfly.
left-hand
Heat number
side,
2 of 6, Mr.
opposite
Referee.
of where you drop them off. And you will have to get out of your car and meet your swimmer at the door to make sure we don't have children wandering around the parking lot aimlessly. So make sure you pick them up at the door opposite of where you've dropped them off, where the athletes had entered. So in the water right now, we have heat number 2. Lane 1, Bratton. Lane 2, Chetland. Lane 3, Damoni. Lane 4, Panal. Lane 5, Heyerholzer. Lane 6, Killar. Lane 7, Lynn. Lane 8, Holtzel. And looks like lane 1 is well ahead of the rest of the pack. That's going to be Bratton. Shannon Bratton coming in there. Let's see if she can finish this off here. But also lane 7, there's a great race happening here between lane 7 and 8. Lynn and Holtzel who have been at it all night long from my records. And as they hit the wall, we got 41.45 for Bratton. Great time for her. 46.06 for Lynn. Holtzel, 48.61. And then the rest are going to round out here. Let's see here. Higher Holzer, 53.49. Pilar, 57.28. Great times here. Definitely setting the bar pretty high here for the rest of the girls. We do have 6 heats, so stay tuned.
Event number 13, girls 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly. Heat number 3 of 6. Mr. Referee.
And the girls for heat number 3 are at the blocks, getting ready for some great starts. Close family friend Nora Yuri, lane 2 for me. But in lane 1 we have Galbraith, lane 2 Yuri, lane 3 Alcy, lane 4 Johnson, lane 5 Vickner, lane 6 Help, lane 7 Geschwantner, lane 8 King. Looks like those lanes 3 and 4 and 5 are coming into the wall at about the same pace here. And they're going to make their turn at about the same time. That's going to be Ossie, Johnson, and Vickner. And you could tell the speed that they came off of that wall. They're pulling ahead handily. Although lane 8, the Dark Horse King, looks like she's going to be making some ground here on all of the pack as they come into the finish here for the 50-yard butterfly. Let's take a look. It's going to be a close one, folks. Coming in first is Johnson, 44.79, followed closely by Ossie, 45.63, 45.85 for Vickner. Got a soft touch on Yuri, but all times under that 55-second mark for those girls. Incredible PRs here for the middle of that pack, taking seconds off of their entry times.
Event 13, girls 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly. Heat number 4 of 6. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 4, stepping up to the blocks. In lane 1, Rayner. Lane 2, Bradley. Lane 3, Makovich. Lane 4, Johnson. Lane 5, Tewksbury. Lane 6, Cusick. Lane 7, Wozniak. Lane 8, Wigington. And as they come across the water, it does look like that lane 4 and 5 are coming in first to the wall. Looks like it's going to be lane 4, Johnson, coming in first. Lane 5, Tewksbury. Lane 8 coming in from the side, but looks like behind. Tewksbury. Johnson still maintaining that lead, it appears to me. Let's take a look as they hit the wall. 41.36 for Johnson, 42.41 for Tewksbury. 44.53, Wigington coming from the side there. Great times for all those girls as well. Moving on to heat number 5.
Event 13, girls 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly. Heat number 5 of 6. Mr. Referee.
Stepping up to the blocks is heat number 5. And they're in the water. Lane number 1, Kiefer. Lane 2, Jones. Lane 3, Hummel. Lane 4, O'Connor. Lane 5, Bender. Lane 6, Hoffhines. Lane 7, Walborn. Lane 8, LaForma. Some of these girls are pulling about 39 seconds for their butterfly. It does look like lane number 1 is going to hit the wall first. That's Kiefer with a C time of 41.50. Looks like she's going to beat that time. Although some of these girls seem to be making up some ground. That lane 5 is doing quite well. But let's take a look as they come in to the wall. Who's going to get there first? I think we're going to see some great PRs here tonight from these girls. 37.22 coming in for Kiefer. She came in with a 41.50, so pulling a lot of time off of her. Walborn coming in with 38.89 in second place. 39.09 for the next rounding out the heat. Final heat for the girls' 50-yard butterfly.
Event number 13, girls 10 and under 50-yard butterfly, heat number 6 of 6, Mr. Referee.
And they're in the water. Lane number 1, Mapufu. Lane 2, Connors. Lane 3, Shadler. Lane 4, Fleischhaker. Lane 5, Alderson. Lane 6, Anderson. Lane 7, Garnsey. And lane 8, Fouts. And looks to me like Mapufu is going to hit that wall first. We've been seeing great things with her, but at almost the same time there is lane number 4. And so it's any woman's race here. Looks like lane 4 and 5 are pulling ahead of Mapufu. Lanes 4 and 5 being Fleischhaker and Alderson. But let's take a look as we finish up this heat here. It's going to be Alderson coming in with 34.81, followed by a tie between Fleischhaker and Mapufu, 35.08 for both of them, 35.86 for Anderson, 35.57 for lane 2, Connors. Great times all around. Congratulations, girls. We're going to be moving on to the boys 10 and under 50-yard butterfly event number 14. We got 5 heats. Heat number 1.
That takes us to event number 14, boys 10 and under 50-yard butterfly. We have 5 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
In the water, lane 2, Bagami. Lane 3, Clarkson. Lane 4, Taylor. Lane 5, Sirens. Lane 6, Vasquez. Looks like Clarkson is well ahead of the pack. He's going to hit that turn first. Flipping it about less than 18 seconds for his split. By the way, if you're picking up your children, you're hanging out in your car, and if you want your children back, make sure you pick them up on the left side of the building, opposite of where they entered the building. And you do have to get out of your car to get them, so they're not wandering around the parking lot. Clarkson coming in easily with the win on this heat with a time. 40.52 for him. Let's take a look as the boys wrap this up. That's going to set a pretty high bar for the rest of our competitors here in the other 4 heats. 51.96 for Vasquez. And still wrapping up the race, we got Sirens at 1 minute and 2.65. Again, no times on the sheet for any of those boys. Clarkson's the time to beat here, 40.52. That'll put him in the running. He might even pull out a place here with the other heats.
Event number 14, boys 10 and under 50-yard butterfly, heat number 2 of 5, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 2 is on the blocks for the boys 10 and under 50-yard butterfly. Lane 1, we have Toth. Lane 2, Merrill. Lane 3, Smith. Lane 4, Getz. Lane 5, Drake. Lane 6, Bliss. Lane 7, Timma. Lane 8, Clark. Boy, those are easy names to pronounce. Toth, I know I've seen great things with him tonight, but it does look like lane number 7, Tim, we've also seen great things from him as well, coming in with no time, but easily showing that he's going to finish this butterfly with a great time tonight, giving everyone else a run for his money. He's going to definitely easily finish this race. The next contestant looks like lane 5, be Drake, coming in with a distant second place finish. But coming into the finish line will be that Tim in lane 7, 42.73. He's putting on the board tonight. Great job. And I don't know if we should say Tim or Timmy. Either way, you can always correct me or just yell at your television screen. 50.83 for Merrill. Great run for him. 51.04 for Drake. And so those boys definitely coming in with great times. We do have some times for Drake, 58.8, and he pulled a 51 tonight, so taking seconds off of his time. Congratulations, Drake, with that accomplishment. I know you worked hard in the pool to take seconds off of your time for that PR, so we're very proud of you. Heat number 3, stepping up to the blocks.
Event number 14, boys 10 and under 50-yard butterfly. Heat number 3 of 5, Mr. Referee.
Just a reminder, if you're picking your children up, make sure you pick them up on the far end of the building, the opposite of where you drop them off. And you do have to get out of your car to pick them up. We have some swimmers that are standing outside in the somewhat cold, although they're used to the cold water. Here we go. In the water, we have lane 1, Esips, lane 2, Worth, lane 3, Cummings, lane 4, Newman, lane 5, Setive, lane 6, Talicia, lane 7, Butte, lane 8, King. And they're all coming in pretty much a cluster, although lane 4 is pulling ahead, hitting the wall first just in front of lane 5. Lane 4 being Newman, lane 5, Setive. Those boys have an entry time just above 41 seconds, and so we're going to see what kind of time they could take off tonight. But it looks like a race there to the finish between 4 and 5. And as they come into the wall, it looks like they're going to be taking some time off. Setive coming in at 38.53, Newman at 39.06, and Butte 41.55. Great job, boys. And those are some great times for those kids as well. Again, taking a second or more off of their entry time. We're very proud of them. Coming up next, heat number 4 on deck.
Event number 14, boys 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly, heat number 4 of 5, Mr. Referee.
In the water for heat number 4, lane 1, Trash Cow, lane 2, Horrigan, lane 3, Coons, lane 4, McCaj, lane 5, Davies, lane 6, Moore, lane 7, Gaudion, and lane 8, the dark horse, my son Eli. Looks like lane 4 is performing incredibly well tonight. Trash Cow, or McCaj, I think I said that backwards. Lane 6 giving him a run for his money. Looks like a tough race here between Henry Gaudion and Eli Kickline in lane 7 and 8. Let's take a look as they come into the finish here. It's going to be lane 4, McCaj, 33.48. Beating out handily Moore, 36.5. And we got some 38.23 on the board for Coons, 38.39 for Trash Cow. Gaudion, 42.9. Kickline with a 43.18. Not their best times. And we're going to be rounding this out with the final heat. Heat number 5.
Event number 14, boys 10 and under, 50-yard butterfly, final heat, heat number 5, Mr. Referee.
In the water, lane number 1, Wolf, lane 2, Kermakov, lane 3, Filmanov, lane 4, Kerkoran, lane 5, Dashko, lane 6, Baumgartner, lane 7, Seelig, and lane 8, Bueller. Looks like 3 and 4 are going to be coming in. That's Phillimore and Kakoran. And it's a race to the finish here with the center of the pool. Dashko is not going to let them win. He's going to try to beat it. Can they get to the finish? That finish is all that counts. Let's see who can power through. And it's going to be, it's a close one. 29.7 for Filmanov. 30.19 for Corcoran. And Dashko almost beating Corcoran with a 30.91. Taking a look at their times. Incredible times. PRs. Dashko actually just a few tenths, just 1/10 off of his PR. An incredible race. Moving along to event number 15, girls 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle.
At number 15, girls 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle, heat number 1 of 4, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 1 on the blocks. Girls 8 and under, 100-yard free. All these girls entering with an age of 6 years old. Elizabeth Frankel, the one to watch. She did great things earlier. It looks like Ada Chetlin is not going to let her get away with much. Charlize Damouni in the middle of the pack here. Frenzel looking great in the water as she comes to her first turn. Great flip turn for her. And looks like she put some distance between her and the next contestants in that flip turn. Great job. Again, just amazing. These kids, 6 years old, doing 100-yard free with flip turns. Just doing really great. Sometimes the only thing holding them back is their size. As they come into the split, it's going to be Frankel. It's getting late. 56.18 for her split, under 1 minute. And 1 minute .99 for Damouni. Chetlin at 1:02.15 as they come across the pool for the next half of the 100-yard freestyle. Again, all these swimmers 6 years old. Frankel turning at about 1:28, 1:29 time frame for her last leg. Can she do this in under 2 minutes? No times on the sheet for these girls, but doing great and performing well tonight, especially since it's so late. Might even be past bedtime for some of these kids, and yet here they are racing for their best time. The Keystone Aquatic Center, it's going to be Frankel coming in here. Will she get under the 2 minute mark? She looks like she did. It might be a soft touch, but 1:59.08 under 2 minutes for her. That's a great time for her to start off her swim career. Looking great tonight. Still swimming is Damouni and Chetlin. Looks like Damouni's going to come up second place here. Might be a soft touch on her, and about 20.9 for Chetlin. So there we have it. Heat number 1 starting us off with the girls 8 and under 100-yard freestyle. We do have 4 heats of this. Next up, heat number 2.
Event number 15, girls 8 and under 100-yard freestyle, heat number 2 of 4, Mr. Referee.
Girls take the blocks here. I think we're going to see some great swimming here tonight for this. And they're in the water. Lane number 1, Pinnell. Lane 2, Bagat. Lane 3, Jowd. Lane 4, Nugent. Lane 5, Kickline. Lane 6, Howell. Lane 7, Macaj. And lane 8, Seelick. They're going to see some great swimming here from all these swimmers tonight. As they come to the first turn, looks like it's going to be lanes 3 and 5 in the lead. Jowd and Kickline in lane 5. Kickline swimming as a 7-year-old as well as Jowd, so they're performing great here in the water tonight and taking the lead. Does not look like anybody is really knocking down their doors as they come up to the split here. And let's take a look at the board as they come into that split. Jowd 47.71. Kickline should be coming in with a 50.96 as they head back across for the second half. Will they have the stamina to finish this race Some of these smaller swimmers, they could sprint the 25s and 50s very quickly. That 100-yard might be their first 100-yard they've done. Can they pull it off? Now, I do know that some of these swimmers, they practice 2,500 to 3,000 yards at a clip, and so all of that is incredibly important. Looks like Jowd is going to make that turn first. Kick line coming around with the flip turn second as she makes her way across the final stretch of this pool tonight. None of these girls having any time on the sheet, so it's all interesting to see how they do. They see a lot of breaths coming out of Ella, breathing every other stroke. And that probably is why Jowd is pulling ahead of her a little bit, but she is still giving her a run for her money. Jowd coming into the wall first, looks like it might be a soft touch, but about the 140 mark, 145, something like that. And as kick line comes in, 151.38 for her. Sorry, I might be a little excited. That's the dad in me. And looking really great there on the board. Under 2 minutes for both of those girls handily, as the rest follow up with about the 2-minute mark for all of them. So great job, girls. Way to put some time on the heat sheet, and we're very proud of you. Heat number 3 on deck.
Event 15, girls 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle, heat number 3.
In the waters, heat number 3, lane 1, Svets, lane 2, Wigington, lane 3, Kalar, lane 4, Riley, lane 5, Jowd, lane 6, Damani, lane 7, Springer, lane 8 was Wozniak. Sorry about that. Coming into the wall first is that lane number 2, Wigington, easily pulling ahead. Looks like lane 5, though, knocking down her door. That would be Jowd. We've been seeing great things out of both these swimmers. Actually, all these swimmers tonight. And as they come into the first turn, the split's going to be Wigington first. 37.93. Jowd, 40.26. Wigington making some ground here tonight. Followed in a cluster of 47s for the rest, many of the other girls. And so we'll see who can vie for third place. But Wigington is maintaining that lead, powering through the third stretch, flip turn directly, smoothly into the final stretch. Jowd coming in. Might be losing some ground to Wigington. Wigington just keeping the power motoring tonight as she comes on that final stretch here. And it looks like lane 6 maybe coming in with that Damani on third place. 121.54 for Wigington. Very proud of her for that time putting up on that board. 127.76 for Jowd. And coming up with the third place finish. Let's take a look at the board and see what happens. It does look like 139 for Kalar. Actually pulling that out. And the rest finally wrapping things up just under the 150 mark. So we're very proud of all those girls. Kalar pulling a 139.6. Her seed time was 150.88. That's a wonderful PR for her. And just PRs all around, I think, for these girls. Either they didn't have a seed time, we just think they did really well. So final heat, girls 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle.
Event number 15, girls 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle, heat number 4 of 4, Mr. Referee.
Final heat, number 4. Girls are on the blocks. In the water, lane 1, Bender. Lane 2, Keller. Lane 3, Berman. Lane 4, Vickner. Lane 5, DeTulio. Lane 6, Carter. Lane 7, Jordan. Lane 8, Johnson. Vickner, the woman to watch here, the seed time of 1:20. She's coming in lane 4 with that flip turn. Some serious speed there, folks. She's from the Keystone Aquatics Club, and she is holding her lead here tonight. Looks like lane 7 and lane 5 giving her a run for her money tonight as they come into the split. Let's take a look at the time. Vickner, 37.8. Amazing time with this 100-yard freestyle. As she comes into the wall. All the rest coming in just above the 40-second mark, trying to catch Vickner. Doesn't look like it's going to happen tonight, folks. But in lane 3, we have Berman, lane 5, DeTulio, trying to catch her as she makes that flip almost halfway across the pool while the other girls are making their turns. And she's going to win this handily, folks. And let's see if she can beat her seed time. 1:20. Can she do it? 1:16, 1:17. I think she might just be able to squeeze out. 1:19.58. She has beat her PR, getting below the 1 minute and 20-second mark. The other girls still finishing up their race. 1:28.27 for DeTulio. Great time there. 1:30.48 for Berman. Again, they each pulled some great PRs tonight as well. So congratulations, girls. And we're going to be moving on to event number 16, boys 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle.
Event number 16, boys 8 and under, 100 yards freestyle. We have 3 heats. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
We start out with heat number 1 of event number 16, boys 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle. We have 5 swimmers. And we have some premature swimmers here tonight. Got to get them to stop. Once they get going, they're hard to stop, folks. I think we might as well just time this race at this point. I think when they all jump in at the wrong time, they just keep going. Hey, hope they can get them to stop here so they have some energy here to finish this race. Just goes to show you when you yell your head off at your kid to swim faster, sometimes they just don't hear you. Oh, they're getting the signal now. Here they go. Okay, so we're doing the boys 8 and under 150-yard freestyle tonight, but that's okay. These kids have lots of energy, as you know. Let's see if we can get the rest out of the water tonight.
Okay, just so everybody knows, we're going to swim event 16, boys 8 and under, 100 free. Heat number 2. Then heat number 3, and then we're going to go back to heat number 1. So we're going to go heat number 2, then heat number 3, and then come back to heat number 1. We're going to... So we have now event 16, boys 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle, heat number 2. Again, heat number 2.
Looks like we're going to give those boys a little bit of a rest here since they just swam so hard for that 50 yards. And they were looking really good, but again, a little bit of a false start there. So we're going to be swimming heat number 2 and 3 and then going back to heat number 1 just to give them a little bit of a breather. Heat number 2 at the blocks.
Honor the 50 free and the 25 backstroke.
In the water, heat number 1, or heat number 2, lane number 1, Kapunets, lane 2, Caldwell, lane 3, Yanuzov, lane 4, Huruk, lane 5, Maxim, lane 6, Laskowski, lane 7, Kurtzman, lane 8, Horner. Looks like lanes 1, 5, and 7 here in the lead as they come back across for the second stretch here. Hard to tell now who's going to be hitting the wall first, although it looks like lane 7 is making some ground. That's Kurtzman. We've seen great things from him tonight. And as they hit the wall, the split's going to be very close. Kurtzman coming in at 43.23. Kapunets at 43.57. And Maxim at 43.9. As they make their way across for the second half. This freestyle again, none of the boys ceding any ground to the other. Although it does look like that lane 7 is going to make that flip first, followed by lane 5. And lane 7 is Kurtzman. Lane 5, Maxim. And lane 1, Kapunets. They're looking great as they're coming into the finish. Who's got the drive to get this finished? And it's anybody's guess right now, but they're all coming in strong to that finish line. We're going to see it be Maxim, looks like 133.41, followed by Kurtzman, 134.10, 1.1, and 139.31 for Kapunets. Great times for those boys finishing up this race. No times on the sheet for them, but excellent times overall to do that 100-yard in just over 1.5 minutes. Next up will be our heat number 3. Not our final heat because we're going to repeat heat number 1, but heat number 3 is at the blocks now, giving that heat number 1 a little bit of a break since they half finished their race before we started.
Event 16, boys, 8 and under 100-yard freestyle, heat number 3. Mr. Referee.
Heat number 3 on the blocks. Lane number 1, Ezips. Lane 2, Smith. Lane 3, Herbine. Lane 4, Seelick. Lane 5, Trashkow. Lane 6, Ritchie. Lane 7, Bratton. And lane 8, Zamkov.
Again, reminder after
Looks
the
like
heat,
that
we're going to
lane
go back to
4
boys
powering
8 and
in,
under
followed by
100-yard
lane
freestyle.
5.
Heat number 1 will be swum at the
Seelick
conclusion
and
of this heat number
Trashkow
3.
here.
So heat number 1 will
But
swim at
looks
the conclusion
like
of heat number 3.
Seelick is
Thank you.
going to maintain that lead. Can Trashkow track him down here in the pool tonight? Seelick coming in with a C time of 109.23, which is going to be very difficult to beat that. Trashkow coming in with 130.28. Trashkow probably easily going to be able to get under that 130 mark. We'll take a look here at his seed time, which is 33.91, 31. And incredible times here for these kids. It looks like Seelick might even be able to, if he continues this speed, to get in around the 1 minute mark, maybe a little bit above that, which is incredible. Both those boys looking good. All the boys swimming their best and hardest. And coming into the wall, will he be able to beat his 109? 106.73 for Seelick. And followed up shortly here by 111.51 for Trashkow. Incredible times. Trashkow took about 20 seconds off his time. Maybe a little less than that. I'm sorry, 18 seconds. About 18 seconds off of his time, which is incredible. great job. We know these kids have been working hard to pull off times like that. And as the rest follow up here, we have Richie at 132.02. Richie with a seat time of 139. So he pulled 6 seconds off of his time. And rounding that out again, I'm taking a quick look, doing well for all the boys tonight. Congratulations. And we're going to be repeating heat number 1 here of event number 16 after we gave those boys a few minutes to rest after their valiant efforts to beat the clock before the clock even started. But that's okay. We'll give them another shot here in just a moment.
Event number 16, boys 8 and under, 100-yard freestyle, heat number 1. Mr. Referee.
Here we go, that heat 1. We saw great things just a few minutes ago. Lane 2, Avoltsev. Lane 3, Zamkov. Lane 4, Zativ. Lane 5, Madden. Lane 6, Cleary. And they're looking great here. Coming in first will be that lane 4, Zativ. He's doing great, more than a body length in front of his next competitor, Alsatev, which is in lane 2. And it looks like Zativ is definitely gaining some ground, so to speak, in the water as he comes up with a seed time. Coming in just above the 30-second mark. He's going to clock in at 36.72 with a split. So great time there. Let's see if he can maintain that energy for the second half. 45.04 for Avoltsev. And the other boys rounding out hopefully under the 1 minute mark, it looks like, as they get to the wall. Actually, it looks like many of them will be coming above the 1 minute mark for this first heat. Looks like lane 2 is coming around here, and okay, 105.49 for. Oh, that was a split time. Zativ coming in at 116.85. Looks like Cleary has a split of 114. So Zativ definitely handily winning this heat with 116.85. I know that's going to put him in the running for a definite place position compared to the other boys that have just raced. And so great job, Zativ. Again, we don't have a entry time for him. But that's a wonderful time to put down in the books here at the Keystone Aquatic Center. Looks like we might have had a soft touch for Avoltsev, so we don't quite know his time. But I know that Zativ was definitely gaining some ground on him. So great job there, boys. And coming up next, we're going to have event number 17, girls 9 and 10, 200-yard freestyle. Looks like we're going to have 3 heats of girls and 3 heats of boys to wrap up tonight. So let's take a look to see how they do.
Event number 17, girls 200-yard freestyle, 9, 10-year-olds. 3 heats. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
All right, girls 9-10 200-yard freestyle. Heat number 1 in the water. Lane 3, Schultz. Lane 4, Yuri. Lane 5, Carroll. Lane 6, Berman. Lots of power here for lane number 6, Berman. She's not taking it easy here in the 200-yard. Seems that she wants to put some ground between her and her next competitor, which is Carroll. For the first quarter of this race, Berman handily coming up to the next turn, followed by Carroll. Schultz coming up third, Yuri fourth. Berman coming up on the halfway mark here. 110.4 for her split. Carroll not too far behind. Let's take a look at her split. 119.77.
As we're nearing the end of the meet, just a reminder,
Berman coming up on the last quarter of her race.
Scoreboard end of the pool. We're going to exit the door at the scoreboard end of the pool.
146.42 for her split time. One
Your
quarter,
parents should be meeting
another
you
50
at
yards
the door,
remaining for
so we
her.
don't want anybody out wandering around in the neighborhood.
Looks like she's continuing to gain ground on Carroll. Just around the 2-minute mark, coming into the final stretch for Berman. Carroll showing a split of 2:05.88 as she makes her way to the last 50 yards. It looks like Berman's going to pull off a 2-minute 21.16 second 200-yard free. Great time for Berman. Carroll's going to be coming in here second, I believe, shortly, as she wraps up this final stretch. Two-minute 48.46 for Carroll. Great time for her. Still under that 3-minute mark. And we're wrapping up the race here for Schultz very shortly, I believe. Let's take a look to see how she's doing. She's going to come in it looked like around the 3-minute mark, although there might have been a soft touch. Got some strange characters on the board. Yuri coming in at 3-minute 12.42. Great times, girls. Again, all of them coming in with no entry times, but looked good to me, so great job, girls. And to do a 200-yard this late in the evening and to be so young, it takes a lot of conditioning. Congratulations. Heat number 2 coming up. Next up, heat number 2 of the girls 9 and 10 200-yard freestyle. Lane 1, we have Hawk. Lane 2, Shadler. Lane 3, Roberts. Lane 4, Fouts. Lane 5, DeTulio. Lane 6, Svets. Lane 7, Katoots. And lane 8, Tinsman.
Event number 17, girls 9-10 200-yard freestyle, heat number 2 of 3. Mr. Referee.
All right, they're in the water right now. The one to watch is Fouts. She has an entry time of 3 minutes and 8 seconds approximately. All these girls' times just above the 3-minute mark, although I suspect we're going to see some better times tonight. Lane 2 coming in with no time, but coming in first to the round, that first bend, would be Aurora Shadler, and she's making some great ground. Lane 8 coming from the outside as well, Tinsman. Again, no time, so she's showing some great strides here for the 200-yard. Again, trying to make that pace, not exert too much energy, so you got some in the tank here for the last sprint, and as they come around, they're going to be doing the next, after the first 50 yards. Looks like it's now a race between lanes 1 and 2. Lane 1 catching up. That would be Kira Hulk, giving lane 2, Aurora Shadler, a run for her money, only less than a body length apart there. And looks like lane 1 and 2 are the ones to watch. Lane 8 coming in from the outside. Tinsman now in the 3rd position as they make their way.
As we're finishing up
to
this
the end of
evening
the
session, I just remind
first
everybody to
half of
please
this
make sure you
event.
pick up
Let's
all
take
your
a look at their
belongings and take them
splits
with you, your
as they
caps,
come into
goggles,
the wall,
towels,
halfway
bags,
point of
water
the
bottles.
200-yard
Please throw
freestyle.
any trash that you may have had, please, in one of the garbage cans nearby.
Looks like lane
Thank
2
you.
is going to hit the wall first. 119.3, but not far behind will be Hawk. 119.84. It's a race there between those two girls. Who has it in the tank to finish here? 124.96 for Tinsman. And then about 126 to 128 in the middle of the pool. Lane number 2, Aurora is keeping the pedal to the metal here tonight as it's a race for 1 and 2. Kira Hawk is not going to cede any ground to her. She's trying to catch up with her. She thinks that maybe she can catch her. Will it happen tonight? It looks like lane 8 is falling behind here, and the front runners are that lane 1 and 2 flipping at nearly the same time here. It looked to me like lane 1 might have been ahead, but no, it is a tie here at the split. 2-minute mark, 0.98 for both Hawk and Shadler, and they're coming in to their final 50-yard stretch, if my counting is correct here. 2:13s for the middle of the pool, lanes 4 and 5. 2:15 for Tinsman, losing some steam. Looks like lane 1 is pulled ahead. Hawk is now ahead of Shadler, but I don't know. I think that Shadler is going to see if she can bring that in here. This might be a close one, folks. Let's keep a look at Hawk and Shadler, lanes 1 and 2, finishing up this race. And 2:39.48 for Hawk, easily, barely pulling ahead of Shadler. We have a time on the board. It doesn't look correct, but I think Shadler came in just after Hawk's time, the second place finish. Who's going to pull in third here? It's anybody's guess at this point. 2:58.2 for Tertulio will be third, and 2:59.8 for Fouts, and 3 minutes, 0.38 for Tinsman in the outside lane, lane 8. Great job, girls. Final heat for the girls' 200-yard freestyle coming up.
Event 17, girls 9-10, 200-yard freestyle, heat number 3 of 3, Mr. Referee.
This is going to be it for the girls tonight, but you can always catch us tomorrow. We're going to be starting a little bit sooner. In the water, lane 1, Bender, lane 2, Evans, lane 3, Bratton, lane 4, Boyle, lane 5, Mahler, lane 6, Shunlin, lane 7, Bolin, and lane 8, Pryor. Here it looks like lane 4, Boyle. We've seen great things from her tonight, hitting that wall first, and followed shortly thereafter by lane number 5. That'll be Mahler. But it seems like Boyle is definitely gaining some ground, so to speak, here in the pool as she comes to the first quarter, first 50, and her split time is going to be about 30.32 for Boyle. That's a great split. 33.54 for Mahler. 34.25 for Bolin in lane 7. And Boyle is pulling ahead of the pack for sure. She's going to be the one to catch here, and I don't think it's going to be possible, but the other girls are definitely not giving up here. Lane 5 and 7. Looks like 7 made that flip first, and Boyle well ahead of the pack. Lane 7 catching up, and that's Bolin. Keep your eye on her. I think she's going to be able to pull off a second place position easily if she can keep the pedal. And 1 minute and 4.74 for Boyle at the halfway mark. I mean, she's going to be very low. 2-minute mark. Bolin 111.16, 114.25 for Mahler as they come back across the pool for the final stretch here tonight. Boyle coming in strong. Let's take a look at see how she's doing here on the board. So she might have another final stretch, another flip here. Her split time's going to be 140.23. I misspoke here. And one more 50 yards for her. And 149.14 for Bolin at the split. So we're going to see some low two minutes here for the 200-yard out of Boyle. Those two girls definitely ahead of the pack. Looks like a set of 2 minutes marks here for Zolan and Evans. And Boyle's going to finish this race off with 2:13.87. That's a great time for her. And again, her seed time was 2:12. So actually, she's been known to do slightly better, but how much better do you need to be is the question. She pulled off a win here tonight, but she could have done a little bit faster. 2:25 for Bolin. That's a great PR for her. Great job. That's a well-deserved second-place finish here tonight against a very worthy adversary. Mahler 2:38. And she has been known to do 2:34. It's a little bit slower, but again, guys, it is very late tonight. These swimmers have been working hard all night long, and it is a 200-yard after all, and I could probably do maybe half of that. So
it brings us
coming
to our
up,
final event
event number
evening,
18.
Event number 18, boys 9-10, 200-yard freestyle. We'll have 3 heats in the event. Heat number 1, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 1 of 3 on the blocks. Then they're in the water. Lane number 2, Johnson. Lane 3, Toth. Lane 4, Tim. Lane 5, Connolly. Lane 6, Pagano. I'll get that right. We've seen great things out of Toth and Tim tonight. Looks like Tim is going to round the bend first, followed by Toth. I might have had that wrong, guys. We'll just put it this way. Lane 4, Tim is in the lead. Although it does look like a race here. Lane 2, Johnson, coming in strong. Tim's going to have the split, 39.82. Johnson, 40.36. Connolly, 41.26. Pagano, 44.1. And Toth at 45.29 as they make their way across the pool. Looks like Johnson is gaining some ground against Tim here as they come back across the pool. Tim's still maintaining a slight edge, but not much. Does he have enough in the tank to keep ahead of Johnson? That is the question. Third place coming in with that 5th lane, Connolly. As they finish the first half, their split times are coming up shortly. Ooh, it's going to be Johnson edging ahead of Tim by just a few tenths of a second as they make their way across to the second half. Can they keep that energy? Can they increase it? Can Johnson stay ahead? Who knows? Let's find out here as they make their way back across for the second half of this race. And looks like Tim might be coming ahead of Johnson. Yes, he did. He just pulled ahead of Johnson there in that next stretch. So he is not very happy that Johnson beat him on the split there, but we'll see what happens. Again, this is a race of endurance here. Lane number 3, Connolly, coming in third pretty easily. 4th place is that 3rd lane, which is Toth. Pagano kind of losing some steam here as we come into the next split. Tim hitting the split at 2:13.63 to 2:16.04 for Johnson. So now less than 3 seconds ahead of Johnson to maintain that first position that he almost lost to Johnson. Connolly coming out at 2:23.98 as they make their way down the pool for the last 25-yard sprint here. Tim well ahead of Johnson. He had it in the tank tonight. He wanted to win this. He's going to take it. Johnson coming up with a second place position, but I think Tim's going to definitely widen that gap to maybe more than 3 seconds here for the win. Probably more like 5. We'll see. Tim coming in under 3 seconds, 2 minute 57.68. Johnson 302.02. Look at that, about 5 seconds. What did I say? And coming in third, I think should be Connolly, if I am not mistaken. 313.38 for Connolly. Great job there. And again, none of these boys have any entry time. 318 for Toth. Pagano bringing up the end here. Finishing up with 328.7 for Pagano. Great job, boys.
Event 18, boys, 9-10, 200-yard freestyle. Heat number 2, Mr. Referee.
Heat number 2 on the blocks. In lane number 1, it's Burley. Lane 2, Vasquez. Lane 3, Worth. Lane 4, Meyer. Lane 5, Soffer. Lane 6, Heilman. Lane 7, Hop Carter. Lane 8, Chernick. And it looks like they're all doing pretty well, but lane 8 is ahead. Sergey Chernick at the turn first here. Definitely laying down his dominance in the pool tonight as they come to the split. Let's take a look. He is well ahead of the rest of the pack, easily hitting that split at just above the 30-second mark. He's going to have 32.01 for the first 50 yards. Amazing. We're looking at a 16-second 25, 38.1 for Hop Carter, 38.25 for Soffer. And as they make their way across the pool for the second half, it's still easily going to be Sergey Chernick in that lane 8. He's the one to beat at this point. The rest of them coming in lane 7 and 5, being close. Hop
Again,
Carter
just a reminder
Soffer
to make sure we clean up
second
all our
and
gear
third
with us
position
before we
right
leave.
now.
We do not want to make any donations here.
And
We
as they
have
approach the halfway
Lost and
mark, let's
found
take a
here.
look
We
at the
don't need
split.
any more.
It's
Thank you.
110.06 for Chernick. And the other ones should come in just slightly behind. That'll be Hop, Carter, and Soffer. 121.8 for Soffer, 123.52 for Hop Carter. So Soffer is pulling ahead here. But by the time he does the split, Sergey is going to be all the way on his way back. Let's take a look to see how we can do here. Sergey pulling a 149.21 for his final 50 yards across the pool. Great split time. Definitely gaining some ground on Hop Carter and Soffer, which are now above the 2-minute mark for their split. Split of 205.7 for Soffer, 207.22 for Meyer, who's coming up with third place finish. Hop Carter dropping back to the fourth place finish. Sergey almost done. He's coming in for the final finish here, just above the 2-minute mark. Let's see how he does. 2:24.94 for Chernick. Great time. And we're going to be seeing some finishing times here shortly for Soffer, Meyer, Hop Carter. Heilman's looks like a race to the finish. It's going to be a Soffer for 2:45.14. Meyer for 2:45.23. Just 1/10 of a second apart. Hop Carter, where's he at? 2:55.68 for fourth place position. And the other boys wrapping it up around 2:57.46 for Worth, 2:58.15 for Vasquez. Great job, girls. Boys, sorry, my girls are out here, and I looked at them when I said that, so I do apologize. Final heat of the night, and I've been talking since 6 o'clock.
Event number
So I
18,
apologize
boys,
for
9,
that
10,
faux pas.
200-yard freestyle. Heat number 3, final heat. Mr. Referee.
And just remember, if you're picking up your children, pick them up on the opposite end of the building of where you dropped them off. They do need to be picked up at the far end, the left-hand side of the building. You do need to get out of your car and pick them up so we don't have children wandering around the streets. Heat number 3 in the water. Lane number 1, Wolf. Lane 2, Getman. Lane 3, Vilmanov. Lane 4, Edwards. Lane 5, Baumgartner. Lane 6, Corcoran. Lane 7, Salomon. Lane 8, Moore. And all those boys coming together. It looks like lane 3 is in the lead. That's going to be Filamenov. He's been doing well tonight. Felix from the B First swim team. But it looks like all of those boys in the lanes 2, 3, and 4 are doing great. Let's take a look at their splits. Going to have a split maybe under 30 seconds. No, about 30 seconds. So 30.49 for Edwards in the lead. 30.66 for Filamenov. 30.93 for Getman. So Edwards pulling ahead slightly there in lane 4. But it's still a cluster. They're still working at about the same pace here. It's hard to tell who's going to be ahead of whom, but Edwards looks to be pulling ahead right now of Vilamenov. Gitman losing a little bit of ground to Vilamenov at this point. And as they come around to the first half, it's going to be just above the 1 minute mark. And it's going to be Edwards at 104.7, 105 for Vilamenov. 106.02 for Gitman and 106.92 for Baumgartner. All these boys wanting to win this race as they come to the second half of the 200-yard. Boys, 9 and 10, freestyle. And flipping at about the same time, Vilamenov and Edwards. They definitely want to win this race, both of them. But it looks like Edwards might still have the slight edge of Vilamenov, and maybe he's just kind of trailing and just trying to streamline behind him. And maybe he'll pull out a sprint here at the end. Now as we come to the split, 139.31 for Edwards, just slightly ahead of 139.6 for Vilamenov, 142.28 for Gitman, 143.46 for Baumgartner. Looks like Vilamenov might have the slight edge, maybe not. Still, both boys neck and neck. And now it's the final, it's the sprint to the finish. Edwards stretching out, trying to gain some ground on Vilamenov. Will he do it? Oh, Vilamenov pulls out the win at 210.82 to Edwards, 211.51. 216.99 for Baumgartner, 217.67 for Gitman. That was a great race, boys. Excellent job all the way around. What a way to end tonight. PRs all around for those boys. And we are going to be signing off. Again, remember, if you're picking up your children, and we do recommend you pick up your children, to pick them up on the far side of the building.
Close race. Nice job, gentlemen. Again, I'd like to thank all our volunteers and officials for helping out and making this meet run. We can't run the meet without you. If we can make sure we clean up the area that we're at, please, that would be fantastic. Please don't leave anything behind. Again, my lost and found is full enough. Thank you.
That's right. Our lost and found is full, so make sure that you pick up your kids.
Mask. We're wearing our masks.
And they will be available for your enjoyment at the far end of the building, opposite of where you drop them off.
Right, we'll be back again tomorrow with our first warm-up session. I believe tomorrow begins at 2:40. We'll be about 2 hours earlier tomorrow on everything that we do. So our first warm-up session tomorrow will be at 2:40. Thank you.
And just a quick reminder to like us on Facebook, so that you can catch all the action here at the Keystone Aquatic Center. And if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and hit that little bell button so that you always know when there's a swim meet going on. And thank you very much for watching. We're glad to have had you tonight. Drive safe, everyone, if you're driving home. And if you're already at your hotel, get some rest. We're gonna see you tomorrow here for the second half of the 2021. We'll be starting at 4 o'clock, the 2021 10 and under Keystone Classic.
We'd like to thank everybody for coming. We'd like to thank everybody for coming. We'd like to thank everybody for coming. There it is. And to thank everybody for coming again. Please drive safely. Again, tomorrow, 2:40, we'll begin it all over again at 2:40 tomorrow.